Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. We've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it. Good morning. Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from LA. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe. It's Friday. Hey, guys.
Yeah, how are you, Jenny?
How you doing?
I'm great.
It's a good day.
Yeah, I know somebody
Good
ain't
day.
laughing now.
Yeah.
Somebody was laughing earlier in the year. They were 0-2 them Chargers.
Yeah.
They ain't laughing now.
But somebody's homeboy let him down, and my homeboys are on the way to Indianapolis where they're going to close some deals.
But I was
Yeah.
pretty when the Chargers get to the Super Bowl.
Oh, are you?
That'll be worth like 15 cases right there, right?
Well, how about Chargers-Cowboys Super Bowl? Would you like
No.
that? Yes.
No.
Okay.
Why
I'd
you
take
ruin
that.
it?
I'd take that.
Why you ruin my
I ruin
morning?
everything. Thank you. How
You
are you?
ruined everything.
Your day coming on Monday.
On today's show, how will Shannon defend LeBron after last night's performance?
That's a very
We
good
didn't
question.
even get to that. And then we've got Skip's Cowboys. Are they going to keep rolling in Indy on Sunday? You know we're going to talk about that, but we have to start with last night's thriller. The Chiefs had won 9 straight against the Chargers coming into last night's game, but that streak is over. Kansas City started off strong behind 2 touchdown passes from Patrick Mahomes. They led by 14 late in the fourth, but Phillip Rivers led the Chargers comeback with under 10 seconds left. He hit Mike Williams on a touchdown pass to pull LA within 1. Then they decided to go for 2, and Rivers hit a wide open Williams again for the win. Both teams are now 11-3 tied at the top of the AFC. Let's take a listen to the Chargers on their decision to go for 2.
Had a lot of confidence in the players. It was, we was going to go for 2 the whole time at the end of that game because I believe in these guys. We didn't come here to tie. We came here to win. And so to me, it was a no-brainer.
I was going to the sideline, going to overtime. And Coach Lynn said, let's go win it right now. Let's go for 2. Let's go win it right now. And when he said that, there was so much conviction from him. It was, yeah, let's go win it right now. I mean, it was immediately turn around and let's go win it. I mean, and if we didn't win it, we didn't win it. But I think his conviction, it wasn't like, it wasn't. It was, no, let's go win the game.
All right, well, they did. Shannon, do you give more credit for the Chargers or blame to the Chiefs?
I give credit to the Chargers. What's there not to love about Phillip Rivers? Kid?
I know.
That joker's so energetic.
I agree.
Good gracious about it.
Well, there's one thing not to love. He's got nothing to show for everything that he's done. He's won exactly what? Maybe this is it. I don't know.
What a
All
rude
right.
conversation. Woo, what a rude conversation. Okay.
I know.
Well,
Took it down.
Well, how about Phillip Rivers? Well, how about him? I'm asking. Okay, now,
Positive.
Now do something for me. Show me something when the real game starts.
As I was about to say, thank you, Jenny, for
Okay.
coming to me. Anyway,
Yes.
this was more credit to the Chargers because this is second or third, 2 out of 3 weeks. We've seen them go on the road in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh at home, when leading by 16 or more points, they were 2-20, 0-1 in that franchise history at home when having a lead that big. And the Chargers walked them down. We see Kansas City. They had lost 9 straight times to the Chiefs. Up by 14, 14-0, 28-14, and they walked them down. And as you hear Phillip Rivers say the conviction that Anthony Lynn had, a former teammate of mine, going into that ball game. Oh, before I go any further, Jenny, did you know I picked this game? I said the Chargers would win.
I was going to remind everyone about that.
That's worth the case right there. So that's one case.
No, it
Come
is
on,
not.
Skip, give me
No. We had no bet.
Set that up.
He fictionalizes bets after the fact
I should
when he
get-
wins.
I don't get credit for that. But that, Skip, you got to give the Chargers credit because that is having played in that division, the AFC West, having played numerous times in that building, you get down by that many points, it's tough to come back. The crowd is electric. And of all the venues I've been in on the road, that is by far the best atmosphere that I've ever played in. Man, they start chanting and but I got to give the credit. I didn't think the Chiefs' offense, what you have to do if you play the Chiefs, Skip, you try to minimize their possessions by running the football. They got great run production, even though Melvin Gordon, he will be back. I like the fact that they took, hey, we're not going to play you, Melvin. We're going to give you an extra 10 days to come back because we're going to need you down the stretch. But Phillip Rivers, and first series of the game, he throws a pick. He throws a terrible pick in the end zone. I'm like, Phillip, what the
Wait, I
heck?
thought we were just raving about Phillip Rivers. Wait.
Yeah.
So you noticed.
Because he did what Dak Prescott did. He stunk it up in the first half, and when you needed him to make a play, he made the play. But you heap praise on Dak on Monday. Don't think I forgot that. Do I need to play the tape back? I didn't think so. But anyway,
How does Dak Prescott come up in everything you say?
No,
you are obsessed with Dak
you,
Prescott.
because
You can't quit talking about the Dallas Cowboys, and I love it because you're really you're a closet Cowboy fan, just like Eric Dickerson, who's going to join us.
First of all, Skip Bayless, because you try to minimize and marginalize every quarterback not named Brady or not named Prescott. And I refuse to sit here and let you do it. Now, back to our originally scheduled conversation that I had before I was so rudely interrupted by you.
Now you can't remember what you
Yes, I can. I love the decision to go for 2. Because if you notice the issues they've had over the last couple of years, Skip, with field goal kickers, do you really want to trust that situation? What if you lose the coin toss? Do you feel comfortable that your team's going to stop? I understand that you stopped them in the last 5 minutes and you got the ball back, you scored a touchdown, came close to losing the game because you almost fumbled the punt. Fumbled the punt, it's over. Skip, when you get down by that many points, a lot of things have to go wrong for the other teams while you make every play that's right. Because think about it, they kick the Chargers, they go up 28-14. Chargers go down the field and score. And then they squib kick it. Guess what happens? You get a block in the back. So now you push back. You run it on first down, they stop you in the backfield for a 3-yard loss. So now you're playing behind the sticks. It's 2nd and 13. So a lot of things had to go well. But give the Chargers credit for being resilient. And they're a reflection of their head coach, Anthony Lynn, like I said, a former teammate of mine. And because Philip said, hey, I was playing going into the sideline for overtime. He's like, nah, bro, we going for 2 and we going to win it. Give the credit to this team.
So, number one, I give great credit to Anthony Lynn, who did exactly what I tweeted that he should do before this all transpired. As it looked like they might score, I said, you have to go for 2 here.
Yes.
And your former teammate, Anthony Lynn, had already calculated that and was saying, we are just going to go for 2 because his quarterback had the hot hand. And I am not a detractor of Philip Rivers. I like him. Sometimes I even get close to loving him, and then I can't because he disappoints me.
He did what he did in the end zone.
That's correct. So the point is, I remember a year ago, I picked them to steal the division, to come out of nowhere and win the division, and they missed the kicks early in the year that cost them this game and that game. So there's something about Philip Rivers that I still can't quite buy all the way into, but he was extraordinary in that last drive, and you should have kept the ball right in his hands. And on the road, just go for the kill. Just try to put them away. And it looked like our man Orlando Scandrick, ex-Dallas Cowboy, it looked like he got lost. But I don't know. I don't know if it's his fault or not.
No. What happens, Skip, they're playing what we call a banjo coverage. So you're playing in and out. So you see how they had it. Now, if the receiver releases inside, the cornerback inside, he has him. If he releases vertical, the cornerback inside, he has him.
It just depends how they play it. Some teams play it differently.
No, they're playing in and out.
Yeah.
So if he comes out, Scandrick is going to take him. But if he releases inside or he releases vertical, the corner that's inside, you got him mad.
Somebody made a big mistake.
He did.
Who?
The inside corner.
Okay, all right.
I believe Scandrick was right because the guy released
I
straight up.
hope you're right about that for his sake, because I wasn't sure last night, but they were looking at each other like, whose fault? It's your fault. No, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. Well, whatever happened, that was about as easy a 2-point conversion as you will ever witness, right?
Yes.
Because it was 0 degree of difficulty in the end. So, I give you all of the above, but Jenny Taft, I have had to sit in this seat week after week after week after week after week and hear about Patrick Mahomeboy, right?
Yeah.
And how he's running away with the MVP race, and that the league has never seen anything like Patrick Mahomeboy. And once again, my homeboy sitting across from me jumped on the wrong bandwagon too quickly. Premature bandwagon on Patrick Mahomeboy, because my takeaway from last night was Patrick Mahomeboy cannot take the Chiefs home. And we've seen the wheels start to wobble and come off really over the last 4 straight games from Patrick Mahomeboy. And again, he has extraordinary talent, and it almost hurt my eyes last night watching Philip Rivers versus Patrick Mahomes, because Philip Rivers has about a quarter of the arm strength of Patrick Mahomes. Am I right about that? Philip just throws puff balls, but he throws them so long before the receiver even thinks about coming open that they get there as the receiver says, oh, because the 2 to Travis Benjamin, he's letting go of the ball like 3 seconds early, right?
Yeah, you have to have great anticipatory skills.
And your receivers have to know, if I turn, the ball is going to hit me in the hands.
See, what made that catch to Travis Benjamin so difficult is that when John Elway threw the ball, I tried to pick it up out his hand, because people make the mistake, think you catch with your hands, but you actually catch with your eyes. So I'm trying to pick the ball up out of his hands. Well, the Fuller is between Phillip Rivers and Travis Benjamin. So he's blocked. And so if you notice, the ball is down here. So basically, he sticks his hand. And that's why they always tell you, get your head around, son. Get your head around quick because you never know where the ball's going to be.
So, Jim Taft, I think I have to reclaim some of my time here while somebody across me has to live in the past. But that's okay.
All right.
No, I'm just trying to,
I got it. It was a good point. It was a fair point. Back to Patrick Mahomes, who might not be your homeboy much longer.
He still is.
He still is?
Yeah.
So I'm going to remind everybody that in order, if we go back just a few weeks, Mahomes on a Monday night football game, it was a classic shootout. Yeah. He turned the ball over 5 times. One was a pick six and one was a fumble return for a touchdown. And the Rams beat the Chargers. It was a classic, but Mahomes, but he wasn't
6
classic.
touchdown passes, okay?
And then the Chiefs continued to wobble against a rival, but not much what's left of the Oakland Raiders. But at Oakland, it became a shootout there, and they barely held on 40-33. Not that impressive. And then Baltimore had Patrick Mahomes beaten 24-17 with 1 minute and 29 seconds left, and it was 4th and 9. And I witnessed the luckiest pass I've seen since Eli Manning stuck one in David Tyree's face mask to beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
No, it wasn't as lucky as the one that Edelman caught from Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
But that wasn't the game winner. You know, that wasn't the clincher. This just saved the whole game right here, 4th and 9. But I give it up. And then last night, I witnessed my homeboy at home get outplayed by 37-year-old Phillip Rivers, just as he was outplayed by 41-year-old Tom Brady in Foxborough on a night in which in the fourth quarter, Tom Brady threw for 182 fourth quarter yards.
Skip Bayless,
so I just gave you 4 in a row. Thank you very much.
You see what you try and do?
I'm not trying to do anything.
Okay,
I'm just reciting facts.
Okay, but this is what you do. When a quarterback doesn't deliver, you make it a one-on-one battle. Okay, well, what about Mariota outplaying Tom Brady? What about Bortles?
We're talking about his team. Last night.
What about his defense?
Who was the better quarterback last night on that field? Should I do
First of all, there's no shame in being outplayed by Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers has over 300 touchdowns, over 50,000 yards. But what about that defense, that historically bad D?
By the way, Drew Brees continues to pull away in QBR. He's the leader now, 85 to now 82, as Mahomes continues to struggle with QBR. He had 67 last night. And got
what about
62, I'm sorry.
What are we going to do about these touchdowns?
Yeah.
What are we going to do about these?
It's my turn, and I am talking. So the point of my takeaway from last night was that here we go again with another late season fade by an Andy Reid football team. They're usually not physical enough for the cold weather. They have a hard time closing deals with leads because they can't pound the ball or seem to throw the shorter passes that convert third downs when they got to convert them. And they had no business blowing that football game last night. And yes, I did pick the Chiefs, and they should have won it. As a gambler would say, the right way to go on that night was to go with the Chiefs. And the Chiefs were up 14-0. They were up 21-7. And then they were up 28-14, and they couldn't slam the door one of those times. That is just wrong. And again, Phillip Rivers in that final drive, I'm going to say to you, that was extraordinary stuff in the 2 passes, 31 yards to Travis Benjamin, 26 yards on 4th and 7 to Travis Benjamin. Extraordinary. But Phillip Rivers threw 2 of the ugliest interceptions you will ever see in the first half, and one came on the very second play of the whole football game. Right. And if Tom Brady had thrown an interception that bad, I would have to come in here the next day and hear, he's got to hang him up now because he is washed up and over the hill. That was an over-the-hill throw.
Yeah, but Skip, that's why I gave the Chargers credit for this. Is because he threw 2 of the worst interceptions you'll see, and somehow they were down 14, and they still found a way to win.
But these were ugly enough that even Phillip brought it up after the game and said, I wasn't sure we could overcome that.
Right.
Because then, with 54 seconds left in the half, he throws a red zone interception that even made Dak Prescott look like Tom Brady because it was just awful. You just can't make that throw at that point, and you're down 14-7.
Skip, even the touchdowns that he threw were throw-ups.
Okay.
If Mike Williams is not what he – remember I told you, that law firm, Williams and Allen, 6'4", 6'3".
Right.
And then it's all about the Benjamins in the slot. Travis Benjamin,
Mike Williams is a stud. He was the 7th pick in the draft. He was hurt a lot last year for a reason. And you remember a party you and I attended one Friday night, our first year on Undisputed, and there was the veteran there who had played. He was a walk-on at Clemson.
I went and spoke to the team. I went and spoke to the team, and he happened to be in attendance.
He happened to be in attendance, and he was raving about Mike Williams, said he was Michael Jordan-esque, that he could dunk basketballs any way.
He said he was better than all the other receivers that had came out of Clemson, including Sammy Watkins, including DeAndre Hopkins.
Including all of them. He said, this guy is the guy.
Yes.
And last night, we started to see flashes of the guy.
Yes.
So, to your point, they don't even have Melvin Gordon last night.
Nope.
And then, late in the first half, and by the way, that Austin Eckler, who I think is really, he's like a third down dynamo, and he got hurt the week before, so he couldn't play. And then Keenan Allen, top 10 receiver.
Oh, easy.
He's easily their best receiver, their most productive receiver.
Yes.
He has a hip injury late in the first half, and he does not return to the football game. So that makes it even more impressive that they kept coming back. It also makes it more shameful on Kansas City's part. Wait a second, they don't have those guys, and you still couldn't slam the door on this? Really?
Look at it. Look at this. On third down efficient, they were 6 out of 10. Fourth down, they were 1 for 1. In red zone efficient, Skip, they were 4 out of 5 with the interception. So they probably would have been 5 for 5. They were 3 for 3 in goal-to-goal situation. And I told you the defense. Now, as good as their front four is, Skip, that back end, starting with the linebackers back, are just atrocious. Look at Chris Jones. He has a sack in 10 straight games, the most in NFL history within the season.
Okay, but it looked like that pass rush was taking over the game in the first half, and then down the stretch, I don't know what happened.
They got tired.
I guess they got tired.
Because think about it, Skip, 33 minutes to 26 minutes. What do you have to do? Can you get to 28 points? Because you know Kansas City can get to that number. It's going to take you getting to that. And can you possess the football and minimize their opportunities?
And
San Diego did a great job of that. But, Skip, that back end with Scandrick and those guys in the secondary, Skip, that's terrible. Skip, that's bad. I mean, and we've seen some bad.
Sort of Eagles-esque to me.
No, they're worse than the Eagles. They're worse than the Eagles.
I don't know. The Eagles are pretty bad.
No, Skip. This here, Skip. Think about it. Skip, they gave up 20. You said it. They gave up 29 points with no Melvin Gordon, with no Keenan Allen, with no back. So they on their third and fourth running backs. No, man, that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable.
So it comes down to this. It's 28-21, 3:43 left. Kickoff, and you talked about this, but there's an illegal block in the back. So all of a sudden, the kid is backed up to 1st and 10 at his 11-yard line. Well, somehow between the kid and Andy Reid, you better kill some clock. You're still up 7, but you can't go a quick 3 and out. You can't have a false start. You can't go backwards. You can't have a -3 on the first carry, Damian Williams, once an Oklahoma Sooner. You can't have a sack on 3rd and 13, and you can't wind up with 4th and 15 from your 6, punting from there, because you're going to give him the ball in way too advantageous position.
For me, knowing that his mobility, Skip, I run a boot or something. Because, you know, San Diego's stacking the deck. They know they're going to run. They know you need to kill the clock.
Yep.
So the last thing they're going to think that you're going to run something, run a pass. Because most teams in that situation, we're going to run the ball. We need to run some time off the clock. And so you try to come out with something. But, Skip, I've always felt this, is that as good as the Chiefs' offense is, their defense is worse. So how do you overcome that? Because in the playoffs, Skip, if the Chiefs have an off game, let's just say they score 21 points, can the defense carry them? Absolutely not. Because we see them get to 28. We've seen them get to 51. We've seen them get to 40.
Yep.
And they can't hold those. They can't hold those leads.
Yep.
If you cannot play, if your defense can't bail you out at least once, because there have been times, Skip, even when the 2000 Ravens, and there are times that, you know, they were historically great, only gave up 165 points in 10 games. But there was the game against the Jets, we had to score 40. There was a game against Jacksonville, we had to score 39.
Yep.
I do not believe, from what I've seen thus far, that if the Chiefs' offense struggle, that their defense is good enough to pick up the slack. I haven't seen it yet. Now, I could be made out to be proven to be a liar, but what I've seen over the first 14 weeks, Skip, I haven't seen it.
Okay. And the next thing I'm seeing about young Patrick Mahomes, and obviously he's a first-year starter, is something I did not see at Texas Tech. And I watched him a lot, especially against Oklahoma, but several other times because he was fun to watch.
He was.
He is starting to look better to me outside the pocket than inside. And that was not the case at Texas Tech. I didn't see this speed or this quickness. He ran 4.8 at the combine, which is it's pretty
decent for a quarterback.
It's very decent at 225 pounds.
It's not
right?
Cam Newton or Andrew
No,
Luck.
it's
Definitely not Michael Vick.
It's definitely not that. It's definitely not Lamar Jackson.
No.
But the point is, with the football in his hand, his quickness and his speed, his like getaway speed, is extraordinary. I've not seen anything like it. But down the stretch, as they kept him hemmed in more, I didn't see surefire. I didn't see trustability like I see when he gets outside the pocket. You better watch out.
Well, that's the thing. He's a guy, and not to say he's the same as Aaron Rodgers, but you'd rather force Aaron Rodgers to throw the ball from the pocket because when he gets outside, because he's so accurate and he can throw the ball over your head. Now, this kid is ridiculous with his arm talents. Because he pumped the ball in that first touchdown, and I'm like, oh, they done got him for a sack. And the next thing you know, the ball comes out, and he's like, hold on. Nobody else can do that.
So, guess what happens on Monday night? What? Big ESPN national TV game. Drew Brees at Cam Newton. And you know that ESPN will give Drew Brees a big build-up for that night, and your MVP is going to start looking dismal.
My man has the 6th most touchdowns in NFL history. Now, they've been playing football for 99 years. And of all the quarterbacks, he has 2 games to go. Now, I think it's going to be very, very difficult for a guy to finish, and I believe they'll win out. So I believe they'll be 13-3. It's hard for me to believe, Skip, that somehow a guy with 50 touchdowns and 5,000 yards doesn't win MVP. Because when we look back at it, it's like, okay, what did the guy do that won it? Did he throw for 60 and 6,000 yards? Nah, he just had never won the MVP, and it was going to be a nice consolation.
That's a good storyline at age 40.
Nah, we don't do storylines. Look here, we'll give you a Lifetime Achievement Award when you retire.
My storyline for Patrick, my homeboy, is he had a 5-turnover game on Monday Night Football, and he lost to Tom Brady on Sunday Night Football, and now he's lost to Phillip Rivers on Thursday Night Football. Yikes.
I mean, the guy
not that great.
The guy threw. So he's thrown 12 touchdowns in his 3 losses. Can I interest you in that? 12.
No, you can't.
I mean, normally, coach said, hey, we get 51, we got this. Nah, but you gave up 54. If you score 40, we got this. Nah, you lost that one. You get 28 at home. You go up 14-0, 21-7, 28-14. Oh, we got this. No, you don't. At what point in time, Skip Bayless? Come on now.
Come on now. So I do like your Charger pick, but I'm going to remind you, they still have to deal with the Baltimore Ravens.
Right.
And then guess where they have to go? They have to go back to your old hometown, Denver. And Denver might have just spoiled your season already because they already went to Los Angeles and beat the Chargers 23-22 with Case Keenum at quarterback.
So do you believe? I don't believe the Chargers will lose another game.
I do. I think they will lose one of those 2 games.
Oh, we got to do on that.
Phil Rivers acknowledged that too.
Maybe when we'll do this topic here in a little bit. We're going to do the whole AFC.
Tough games ahead.
Who's in the catbirds?
You already know who in the seat.
Who started saying that?
I keep asking.
I don't know.
Where did
that come from?
It's a long story.
Yeah.
Okay.
You used to have a catbird.
We've got 2 more hours.
Yeah.
Explain it later. All right. Did LeBron get embarrassed by James Harden last night? How will Shannon defend this one?
No mercy.
Hey guys, Jenny Taft here. More of the Undisputed podcast is on the way, but first, a quick word from one of our sponsors. Send the holiday gift that families across America have loved for over 100 years. Omaha Steaks, the perfect gift for families that love premium quality steaks, hamburgers, pork chops, and much more. Right now, Omaha Steaks is giving an amazing limited time offer to Undisputed listeners when you go to omahasteaks.com and enter code JINGLE into the search bar. You will get 74% off the Omaha Steaks family gift package. Originally $195, now only $49.99. Order now and you'll get 4 hand-cut aged to tenderness top sirloin steaks, 2 savory premium pork chops, 4 chicken fried steaks, 4 Omaha Steaks burgers, 4 snappy kielbasa sausages, all beef meatballs, for perfectly browned potatoes au gratin, for made from scratch caramel apple tartlets, plus get 4 more burgers for free. Again, get this limited time package for only $49.99 when you go to omahasteaks.com, type jingle into the search bar, and add the family gift package to your cart. Don't wait. This offer ends soon. Go to omahasteaks.com, type jingle into the search bar to send the Omaha Steaks family gift package today. All right, get to eating. Now back to the show.
No mercy.
Well, Shannon, I'm sorry, you're not going to like this one. Miss Trip Dub, she made it to Houston last night, but she was visiting James Harden, not LeBron. Harden finished with 50 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists, and the struggling Rockets beat the Lakers by 15. LeBron finished with 29 points, and he was not happy with the officiating. He mocked the refs by putting his hands behind his back on defense because Harden got to the line 19 times last night. Let's take a listen to LeBron after this one.
We put him on the line 20 times. He's already talented offensively. Can put the ball in the hole multiple ways, drive, step back threes. But you give him easy points. We put a guy like that on the line. You can't put KD on the line for 20 free throws. You can't put him on the line for 20 free throws. You can't put any of our scores that we have in our league on the line 20 times because they just see the ball.
Shannon, how surprised are you by the blowout?
I'm not overly surprised for the simple fact, although I did pick the Lakers to win, Skip, I've said this before, the thing that will hold them back from reaching their maximum potential is 2 things, Skip. They turn the basketball over and they shoot free throws horribly. Not poorly, horribly. Because
who's the biggest culprit there?
It's not your turn to speak.
I'm just asking.
I don't want you to ask.
I thought Ginny was going to ask that.
She asked me.
Not
when
yet.
you get the
I'm
floor,
sure we'll get there.
Yeah, when you get the floor, you could ask me a question. But until then, please.
Yeah.
You tried to make me lose my train of thought. But I've been thinking about this. I didn't sleep a wink last night after this pathetic performance.
Yep.
Skip. And although they didn't turn the ball over a ton, they only had 12 turnovers. All turnovers are not created equal. Is that, okay, they're down 3. They turn it over. The Rockets hit a 3. They turn it over again. They're down 9. They turn it over again. They're down 12. So now what was a 3-point ball game? You didn't take care of the ball. You're down 12. Okay, I get it. Yeah, James Harden went to the free throw line 17, 18, 19 times.
Yeah.
They shot as a team. The Rockets went to the free throw line 31 times.
How many did James make? I'm just asking.
I know that you don't
Made 18?
First of all,
Wait, Ginny just said he made 18 and 19?
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty good, isn't it?
at this current juncture, I'm the judge.
Oh.
In the courtroom, you don't get to ask the judge a question.
Okay.
So, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by you, Mr. Bayless, it doesn't matter how many times the opposing team, because it wasn't that big a disparity. The Rockets went to the free throw line 31 times. The Lakers went 28 times. The difference is the Lakers missed 13 free throws. This is unacceptable. LeBron James is shooting threes from Brownsville, from Laredo, and you can't make a free throw from 15 feet away. That's unacceptable.
It?
No, I'm not done.
I think you are done.
They got crushed on the offensive glass, Skip.
They did.
You got out rebounded by 8 on the offensive end. You got beat, 8 to what? By 18 on second chance points. You can't win like that. You're too young to make this many mistakes and expect to beat a team on the road, especially a team that has a James Harden. And you know what? This disloyal make me sick, Miss Triple Dub. How dare you visit James Harden?
She gave him a big old kiss on the cheek last night, didn't she?
You know what?
She gave him a 50
I'm done.
point.
I'm out on Miss Triple Dub. Yeah, LeBron played well for 3 quarters. And what disappointed me about the fourth quarter, it wasn't that he only had 2 points. It was the fact that he only took 2 shots. That's unacceptable. If he takes 10 shots and he only has 2 points, I can live with that. But you can't. But it just goes to show you that he has to be spectacular in the first 3 quarters just for them to have a chance to be close going into the fourth. And it's sad because a lot of guys didn't show up. Kuzma, I can count on Kuzma. Skip. Those demons that are in LeBron's head at the free throw line, they're in Lonzo's ball head shooting the basketball. Skip, these 3-point shots aren't even close. They're not even close, Skip. You know it. I know it.
Okay.
It's disappointing.
So who's the best player on the Lakers?
LeBron.
Oh, yeah. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about the best player right now on the Lakers, LeBron James. Shannon Sharpe.
Yeah.
I don't know what was wrong with LeBron last night in Houston. I read a report that said he just doesn't like the city of Houston, which was one reason he didn't give it any thought to signing with the Houston Rockets.
What the hell they got to do with you playing there?
You know, I don't know, but he was not into it last night.
Not in the fourth quarter, Skip.
I didn't think he was really into it the way he's usually into it in any quarter from the start. And I know he scored 29 points, but do I need to tell you he had 5 rebounds and 4 assists? I know sometimes the assists they're products of whether the shot gets made. Okay, I give you that. But still, by his standards, by the energy I've seen him play with for these Lakers, these kids and these cast-offs, he was lifeless to me mostly from the start last night because he's 6 feet 9 inches tall, 250 or 60 pounds. You can't wind up with 5 rebounds and allow your team to get annihilated on the backboard.
Yeah,
that's number one. That's an energy thing. That's an effort. That's a want to. That's a desire. And I was stunned by that because I also picked the Lakers to win, and I was shocked that Houston was a 5.5-point favorite, and Vegas was more than right about this because it wound up 126 to 111. But it was not 126 to 111 through the fourth quarter because it was a seesaw game. It was back and forth, and it was still a game down to the 4-minute mark. But now I'm going to hark back to the third quarter. I thought LeBron let his team down by setting the very worst tone with the referees. You cannot show up, NBA referees. You can't whine too much to them, and you can't really show them up by clasping your hands behind your back to say, oh, I can't even swipe at the basketball or I'm going to get a foul call.
Whining was one thing, Skip, but that was openly, blatantly disrespectful.
It's blatantly disrespectful, and the refs are going to get you back for that one, even if you are the king, even if you are the best player on the planet. They're not going to accept that.
Right.
So we get down to the 4:04 mark, and it's still a 3-point game. And what happened at that point? Another Josh Hart foul call happened on James Harden, and this one was just flat out wrong. If we can see this.
Yeah, that wasn't a foul. Skip, this is not even close to being a foul.
That's no foul, but it's getting even with the Lakers for complaining, starting with LeBron. They were all complaining, but LeBron set the tone, and that was outrageously wrong. And you know what James did? He walked right to the free throw line and went swish, 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 and it was a 6-point game, and it was starting to teeter. And then he comes down the next time, boom,
it's
and
over.
then he stepped back, 2-point shot, and now it's really, the sky has fallen on the Los Angeles Lakers.
This is why the Rockets are not going to win. You know why, Skip? Because when you get into the playoffs, they don't give James Harden those calls. We've seen over the last couple of years, Skip, he gets frustrated because the calls that he gets in the regular season, he doesn't get those.
But I'm going to remind you, they had Golden State in big trouble last year until Chris Paul pulled his hamstring.
Yeah.
So they were playing different basketball because they're playing defensive basketball. And last night it was
they were
more
still up
just,
by 13 in Game 7.
No, you're right about that. But in the end last night, something was missing from LeBron, and I don't know if he could have had a virus. I don't know what he had.
We don't make excuses.
No,
we don't do excuses here.
So I got to point this out because I cannot let the king get away with this play. This is 6:47 left, and again, it's still seesawing back and forth in the fourth quarter. And one Daniel House Jr., undrafted out of Texas A&M, he's bounced around to the Wizards and the Suns. He goes in for this dunk. Can we see this again, please? LeBron just olayed him. He actually pushed him on, like slapped him on the back, like, way to go, young man. You can have this dunk. You got to contest this. Contest it. You want to talk about the all-time olay? You can't get away with this one. LeBron, you got to at least make him go to the free throw line. You have one foul at that. It's not like you're in foul trouble. You can't do that. That's setting the wrong tone on defense for your team. You just gave him a dunk. You just said, okay, I give up. And I don't know, it's because you're frustrated with the officials over the foul calls.
I don't care.
Okay.
This is unacceptable,
okay.
Skip.
You can't do that. And I've lauded and applauded his defense this year. He's kind of drifted back a little bit. He's 44th in defensive win shares individually. He's been as high as 30, but off last night, he should fall into the 80s off that one.
Ain't gonna do it. But Skip, here's the thing. The problem that I have with LeBron is the fourth quarter. He had 9 in the first quarter. He had 9 in the second. He had 9 in the third. He only took 2 shots in the fourth quarter.
He scored 2 points, and James Harden scored 17. He
Right.
got outscored 17-2, and he's a better player than James
Oh,
Harden.
of course he is.
He's just a better player.
But think about it, Skip. Lance Stevenson.
Well, what if he doesn't go for 11 in the fourth? What happens in this game? Lance, for a while, just carried the team.
He did. Lance played well. But Lance, in 14 fewer minutes, had only 6 fewer shot attempts. So that tells you LeBron was not nearly aggressive. LeBron, if you want to get some of the foul count, they're not going to give you the step back 3 calls that they give James Harden because that's not your game. That's James Harden games. So he's going to get that call more often than not.
Yep.
And when James Harden is perfected, Skip, he's going through and he throw the ball up like he make it seem. Even if you don't touch him, he can make it seem like you touched him, and they're going to call it.
He is the master of that move.
I've never seen anything like
Yep.
it. Nobody can draw a foul like that.
Actually, he invented that move. I've never seen anybody do that before.
He did. But Skip, look, I'm disappointed that LeBron did not play better. I'm disappointed. Forget playing better, because you can have an off night. He was not aggressive.
He just
he
wasn't
didn't
into
he
it.
didn't
No.
want it like I know he can want it
I
in
agree.
the fourth quarter.
I agree
And
with that.
Look, Kyle Kuzma's going to be Kyle Kuzma, and he's going to play well. JaVale's going to do JaVale thing. But, Tyson Chandler had 6 rebounds. Your leading rebounder had 6.
Okay.
James Harden had 10 rebounds. Come on, man. That's not.
Okay, so you brought up the free throw line. Again, James Harden made 18 of 19 free throws. LeBron James made 2 of 6.
He missed his first 4.
Okay, so it's 18-2. If we go superstar versus superstar, it's 18-2 at the free throw line. That's plus 16 for the Rockets, and they won by 15. And I can make a case, a lot of that just came at the free throw line, right?
Skip, but you can't miss, 15 free throws. You can't.
And to your point,
13, he missed 13,
Yeah.
what, 15 to 18.
I'm shocked that LeBron is turning into Steph Curry from 3. And I saw a stat on ESPN.com this morning that his average three-point attempt this year is 26 feet. He's shooting bombs.
Yes.
Because remember, the line is 23-9, 23 feet 9 inches. So he's shooting the average of 20. He's shooting so far beyond the line that it's Steph-esque.
Yeah. And
again,
some of them, Skip, some of them are 30 and 32 feet. The one he pulled up from last night.
Right, and he's a career 34% three-point shooter, and he's making 37%. But again, because of the free throw demons, it's like he's not attacking enough because he's like, well, I don't know, I'd rather shoot threes than free throws, right?
And that's what I don't get. I'm like, bruh, this dude's pulling up from the border.
He is.
And just to go to the line and to shoot the ball. And Skip, those ones last night that he missed, they weren't even close. Sometimes, Skip, you get a lip out or you get a and it bounce out. Skip, that thing was boing, boing. I'm like, does the ball have air in it? Is it made of cement? Because this thing, come on, Bron. You know what, Luke, this is what I'm recommending. I don't think I think the practice should not be, the walkthroughs or when you're going over sets or anything like that. For 2 hours, we shooting free throws. Everybody.
I don't disagree with that.
That's what we should do.
Yeah.
Skip, they're the worst shooting free throw team in all of basketball.
Like when you come in for a workout, some Wednesday workout, you just say, you know what we're going to do today? We're going to shoot free throws for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got to, because this is ridiculous.
Would LeBron take that personally, though?
I don't care what he take. I'm trying to win games, man.
Well,
look at feelings.
Okay, but to your point, it's the whole team, but
True.
it starts with him, but it trickles down to everybody.
Yeah.
You know what? I treat feelings like visitors. They come and go. I'm trying to get this dub, and this missed free throws is costing us these dubs.
Well,
That's a good point. And I'm sure he's well aware that your feelings are not going to be hurt by that. Okay, the Lakers continue.
call him.
you're going to call
I'm going to call him.
That
gonna
was,
call him?
By the way, that was the most objective you've ever been about LeBron.
No, it's not. I'm always
Seriously,
objective about
it
the
was.
king.
I'm proud of you.
I'm fair.
Yeah.
Okay, well, next up
Fair
for
and
them,
honest.
Charlotte
Where we heard that
tomorrow.
before.
I know exactly where. Yeah.
Okay, you just call him and let us know what he has to say.
No mercy.
The Cowboys,
Yep.
they're on a 5-game winning streak, but they're still a 3-point underdog on the road against the Colts Sunday on Fox. Skip's guy, Dak Prescott, is leading the NFC in passing yards over the last 5 games. The Colts are also hot, winning 6 out of their last 7. Shannon.
Yeah.
Simple. Who wins Sunday?
Indy's a great town. I like Indy.
Have some guts.
I always wanted to go to the Indy 500.
Yeah.
One of my favorite.
I've been to it many times. Go ahead.
One of my favorite restaurants is in Indy. Country
I know it.
Kitchen.
Oh, not that one.
No, I don't. Yeah, just see now y'all bougie. I'll go there get me some good old oxtail.
Bougie.
Yeah.
St. Elmo's is like as old school as you
Yeah.
can get.
They bougie. I can't eat that. Are you going to get that shrimp cocktail?
I'm sorry, but this is bougie.
No.
So I don't think you can
But that's
really
my
say
favorite
that.
restaurant, Country Kitchen. Now send me some of that lemonade. Skip, the Colts are going to win because Andrew Luck, if Drew Brees was not playing out of his mind, if Patrick Mahomes was not playing out of his mind, Andrew Luck would be getting real MVP consideration.
He's the runaway comeback player.
Runaway.
Okay.
Runaway.
Yep.
He has 8 games in which he's thrown at least 3 touchdowns or more. 8 of those games.
Yep.
And considering where they started and considering to where they are now, it's all because of him. Now, they do a great job of protecting Andrew Luck, and I think that's one of the things that led to some of those injuries, Skip, is that he got beat up early in his first 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
So now they do a great job of protecting him. In 13 games, he's only been sacked 6 times. Ebron has found life. Now you're starting to see why. Okay, now I see why the Lions took him with the 10th overall pick in the draft. They never got the kind of production from him that he's delivering in Indy. T.Y. Hilton is having another Pro Bowl year. Mac runs the football well. But you know, Skip, since week 7, the number 1 scoring defense in all of football resides up in Indy.
I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You like that?
I like that. I like it.
Okay.
But here's the thing, Indy. You're going to have to get off to a flying start. This is what I didn't know. The Cowboys have only given up 14 fourth-quarter points. In the last 6 games, they've given up none. The next closest to first-quarter points is 38. So, in other words, the Cowboys, what they do is they stifle you, and then they get to play on their terms. We run it when we want to, as much as we want to. We throw it when we want to. We don't let you dictate anything.
So it sounds like you were about to pick Indy, and then you just talked yourself right out
I
of it.
wish I might. Not when I got old Andrew Luck, who should be comeback player of the year. He will be.
Yep.
And he's going to probably finish 3rd in the MVP voting, which he should. So with that being said, I got the Colts.
You got the Colts?
27-24.
Really?
Yeah.
You're giving my team 24 with that quarterback who can't throw a lick?
You know what, Skip, man? See, you always doing that. Why you just can't let me
You told
beat?
me he can't throw a lick.
Skip, the man had 4.
He had 455 yards passing, but he cannot throw. Inaccurate, holds the ball. Go ahead.
There's some concern. Zeke, last 4 games,
Yep.
32 touches. Now,
Didn't practice the other day.
I mean, it's good. You know what, Skip, is different now. And sometimes we have to evaluate the touches because what used to happen, guys used to play in the preseason. These guys today, they don't play at all in the preseason, so they do save their body. But, I mean, Zeke went from 22 touches a game to 32 touches a game.
Yep.
There's no coincidence. They also started to pick up, and it was also the addition of Amari Cooper. So those are some things that deserve monitoring. But given what I've seen from the Colts, they just went and beat the hottest team in football on the road in their building, the Houston Texans. And so Andrew Luck is playing phenomenal.
Yep.
27-24, I feel good about my pick.
Do you?
Feel real good.
I'm happy for your pick because you're mostly wrong about my Cowboys, so I feel real good about what I'm about to say. But before I say it, allow me to say this. This is the weirdest Cowboy mid-December sort of matchup of magnitude I can ever remember because it's just too weird against the Indianapolis Colts. When the Cowboys have a game of this magnitude in mid-December, it needs to be against the Washington Redskins, the New York Football Giants.
These teams never played.
Or the 49ers, or the Packers, or maybe the old AFC rivals, the Steelers, or the Raiders of old. The Raiders, not these Raiders.
Right.
That's magnitude. That's where, you know, because I don't feel a lot of buzz about this game because it's the Cowboys versus
Indy.
The Colts? Where did that come from, right?
They never play each other.
They haven't much, and there's no bad blood because there's just no blood at all, right?
Right.
So I will remind everybody, they did play in mid-December. It's actually December 21st back in 2014, but nobody really remembers because the Colts didn't really need the game. They were heading toward the Deflategate AFC Championship game at Foxborough, and my Cowboys, featuring Tony Romo and DeMarco Murray, were heading toward winning the division. But Dallas needed the game. This one was at Dallas, and it was 42-7 Cowboys. And Andrew, as I used to call him, Andrew Luck, as in Luck, first ballot Hall of Famer.
He back on that. He back on that
Is he?
trajectory.
I don't think he is. But that day, he threw 2 interceptions and threw for a grand total of 109 yards and had a QBR of 8 on a scale of 0 to 100. One of his most pathetic games of his career. Dallas rolled, but again, on need of the game, on the stakes of the game, there weren't really any stakes for Indianapolis. So I'm going to give you that one, but that's the last time that they played that had any magnitude to it at all, which brings us to December 16th, this Sunday, in the early game at Indy. In the house that Peyton built, Lucas Oil Stadium.
Right.
Okay? And again, Andrew Luck, you say he's back to being Luck, first ballot Hall of Famer.
I said he's on that trajectory.
And he's
again.
obviously a Luck comeback player of the year. And you talked about how good the Colts defense has been over the last 7 games. But I'm, in all objectivity, still shocked that this has remained Indy by 3. They are a 3-point favorite here because, you know why? My Cowboys are a little better on both sides of the ball than the Indianapolis Colts. And I give you all that, and Luck's been
But
hot.
your quarterback's not.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Oh, come
That's
on.
what the Vegas see. Vegas is not about being fandom because they can't afford to put their money on the line because I like the Cowboys.
So let's think about this. The Dallas Cowboys have the NFL's leading rusher, and they have the NFL's hottest receiver and leading receiver over the 6 games Amari Cooper has played with the Dallas
What about
Cowboys.
your quarterback?
642
What about your
yards.
quarterback?
I'm still going. It's my turn. Cowboys have the number 2 scoring defense in all football, and it's just barely. The Ravens are still clinging to the lead. They've given up 18.9 points a game. Dallas has to 18.5 for the Ravens.
Well, you'll be solidly in second place after this game.
I really
Without
don't
the
think
Andrew
that's
Luck
true.
get through
I
with
do
you.
not think that is true. And guess what? The Dak attack leads the NFL in time of possession, that key stat, because my quarterback can just flat out drive the football. You want 16 plays, 85 yards? I got it for you. I'll have 2 or 3 of those a game to just salt away time of possession and keep Andrew Luck on the sideline.
Why you want to keep him on the sideline if he ain't
unstoppable.
any good?
He's unstoppable.
No, he's not any good. You got the best defense. You keep over there bumping your gums about how good your D is.
By the way, my quarterback just makes plays because despite his mistakes last week against the Philadelphia Eagles in the fourth quarter and overtime, he went 17 of 20 for 243
Hold on, you
and
just
3 touchdowns and no interceptions.
You just
Whoa.
went Phillip Rivers for that horrible play he did in the first half.
Well, Phillip didn't put up those numbers late.
He just beat the number 1 team on the road after being down by 14.
So help me out. What did my defense do to Drew Brees when he was riding the highest any quarterback has ever ridden statistically when he came to Jerry World that night?
You guys won, Skip.
Yeah. What was the score?
13
to 10. 13 to 10. Drew Brees?
Think about this.
He
Skip.
went 3 of
Skip, I
12
want you
on
to-
third down?
Think about
Really?
this. As great as your team is playing, let this sink in for just a second.
Wow.
Dak Prescott threw for 455 yards. Zeke Elliott ran for 128 yards. Amari Cooper caught for 217 and 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
And you needed overtime to win the game. Let that sink in. As great as you played, you had almost 600 yards, and you needed overtime.
Who got
Andrew
the-
Luck go put you over his knee and bust you.
Who got to eat at your restaurant that night?
I closed my restaurant.
You closed it because you do not serve Dallas Cowboys.
I do not.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
So if you come in there with a Cowboy hat or Make America Great hat, you get no service.
Yeah, I got you. I don't blame you for that one.
But I'm definitely not Cowboys.
So help me out. What happened to Andrew Luck, as in Luck?
Skip, stop it.
Wait. What happened to him just 2 weeks ago when he went to Jacksonville? Help me out. What happened?
He lost.
What was the score of that
The
game?
score was 6-0.
6-0. Wait, Andrew Luck scored no points at Jacksonville, and Jacksonville's been hit and miss all year on defense, right?
Yeah.
I mean, do you know what?
So
Wait. Do you remember what Dallas did to the Jacksonville defense? They scored 24 in the first half on their way to 40. And Andrew Luck scored none. He scored none.
Skip, why you do that?
Wait, what did I do? I think I just closed the case. Do you want to switch?
No.
Pick.
What you do is that you see what that team did to this team. So if that team did that to that team, and we beat that team, so therefore, I guess you guys are gonna beat Andrew Luck 64-0.
I don't know if it'll be that bad, but it'll be. I feel really good about
what?
Dallas winning this game.
I'm tired of you. You know what? I'm tired of you.
Yeah.
Put a do on it.
Just one case? I told you.
Put 2 cases.
Okay, I told you. You give me 3 points.
No. Hold on.
What does Vegas say? You said Vegas is right because they know I don't have a quarterback.
Hold on, time out.
So I'll take the 3.
No, Skip.
I will take the 3 right now for 2 cases. Here.
No, hold on.
Yes.
Hold on, time out. You just talked about, my quarterback. We lead the NFL in time of possession, and my quarterback, he get 2 of those drives of 80, 10
Yeah,
plus.
I'm just overly defending my quarterback because I'm not objective.
Hold on. And now you got the league's number 1 rusher.
Mm-hmm.
And you just points, just 18.9 to 18.2.
Well, you've got the comeback player of the year and the hottest defense in pro football over the last 7 games. You just told me that.
I just named one reason why I thought you gave me 15. Why you guys are going to win?
2 cases, 3 points.
No points. No points.
Why not?
Straight up.
Straight up? No,
Straight
I'll
up.
do 1 case straight up.
Come on, Skip.
You know? Come on, Shannon.
You're trying to get over. No.
Huh?
You know what? You know what, Skip?
This
At
is
some
easy.
point, see, I've allowed
some guts.
I've allowed you to make my negotiating skill. Because see, here's the thing. At some point in time, you have to learn how to walk away from a deal. Or if you don't learn how to walk away from a deal, you're trying to set the hours in which I'm going to have to work. So you know what? I'm turning it down. No, I won't nothing.
You've got Andrew Luck
I don't
at
care.
home? Come on.
I don't care. I don't want it.
Think about this. Andrew Luck versus Dak Prescott.
It's not Andrew Luck versus Dak Prescott. It's the Indianapolis Colts versus the Dallas Cowboys.
We've got a couple more hours.
I've got Dak Prescott 24, Andrew Luck 20, and I feel real good about
Hey,
it.
you don't feel that good, you're going to put no do on it. Put 2 cases on it.
Give me 3 points
No.
for 2 cases. Or I'll do 1 case straight up.
I
I
won't
don't know if
2.
we're ever going to.
Well, you can get 1 back.
You know what? I'm paying my debt off. I'm bringing 10 cases in on Monday, and I'm done.
Just-
I'm wiping the debt.
That is not how this works.
No, I don't want this to end.
You can buy early.
No.
Yeah, you can.
I'm not going to let you buy your way out of it. You lost. And,
I did.
And you're teetering on losing up to 17 cases.
I'm buying 10 cases.
Yeah.
I'm coming in here I'm bringing a pallet, and I'm putting 10 cases right there.
The truth is, I don't need any more cases to do on this game because there are really 6 cases riding on this game.
I'm bringing 10
Realize that.
cases, and we'll be clear.
No,
The debt be settled.
You cannot do that.
Oh, look here, our student loans. You could take the 10 cases or you don't get paid.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not going to help you carry those cases.
Student loans, Skip, you know how that works? Now, you could take the little $20 a month that I owe on $100,000 or you get nothing. Now, what you want? You want 10 cases or no 17?
Do you think a loan shark would say, oh, yeah, I'll let you pay me half and walk away?
IRS, you hear Skip, he's a loan shark.
Yeah.
IRS, you hear that?
Yeah, this is how you get a leg broken, right?
If they
You
reach
threatened- now you
an
threatened
agreement
me.
on this, maybe they'll bet on our next discussion.
Jenny, you heard that.
I
He
did
threatened
hear
me.
the threat, but we're going to break. Will Tom Brady continue to dominate the Steelers? If history is any indication, this one will be interesting. These two, their picks next.
No mercy.
Hey guys, Jenny Taft here. There is a buzzy gift on everyone's list this year. It's something they'll use twice every day, was featured on Oprah's O List, and it's perfect for everyone with a mouth. This it gift is Quip, an electric toothbrush designed to make brushing better. What makes Quip the ideal option? Well, Quip toothbrushes use sonic vibrations that are gentle enough for sensitive gums and teeth. They come with a built-in 2-minute timer. It pulses every 30 seconds to remind you when it's time to switch sides. Guys, I have it. It's really awesome. And my travel schedule is packed, and the last thing I want to do, I don't want to lug around a bulky electric toothbrush. So with the slim design and a travel-ready holder, my Quip makes it easy to keep my teeth looking and feeling their best no matter where I am. That's why I love Quip and why they have over 5,000 verified 5-star reviews. Quip looks like a big-ticket tech gift with a stocking stuffer price starting at just $25. And if you go to getquip.com/undisputed right now, you can get your first refill pack for free with a Quip electric toothbrush. But you don't have to tell your giftee that. That is your first refill pack free at getquip.com/undisputed. Now, back to the show.
No mercy.
The
Patriots are a small favorite on the road in Pittsburgh on Sunday. New England is coming off a tough loss last weekend, but it helps that Tom Brady has dominated the Steelers in his career, winning 11 out of 13, including the playoffs. Pittsburgh has lost 3 straight. Shannon, who wins on Sunday?
Pats. I'll always take the Pats over the Steelers. The Steelers have issues going on, and they're always going to find an excuse of why they didn't win the ball game and instead of winning a ball game. Ben just has too much drama, and as long as he's the vocal, he's the leader of a football team, I just think bad things normally happen. The Steelers are sacked the quarterback the second most in the NFL. Kansas City overtook them. They were number 1 coming into the week. Kansas City has overtaken them. But New England do a great job of protecting. I just believe that Brady will do a better job of protecting the football, putting his team in position to score points than what Ben and the Steelers would do. I do not trust, nor have I trusted the Steelers' defense all year long. I think they're not as bad. Their secondary isn't quite as bad as Kansas City, but they're close. They're close. They do get after the quarterback, but the thing is, if they don't get there initially, they normally have, and they don't do anything with Gronk. They still haven't found an answer how to deal with Gronk. Now Brady is having more and more confidence in Josh Gordon, so he'll go away from Gronk to find Josh. He'll go away from Edelman to find Josh Gordon, and always he loves throwing to the running backs out of the backfield. So with that being said, I believe the Patriots will win this ball game and send the Steelers even more spiraling. But I just hope they have updated equipment so they can find out what's wrong with Ben when he comes out of the game and says, he's not feeling well.
Well, they're not at Oakland this time.
Yeah.
They're in Pittsburgh. So the public very much agrees with you, and the public is jumping back on that Patriots bandwagon with both feet because the Patriots opened as a 1-point favorite and has been bet all the way up to 2.5 points. That's significant. So the betting public is saying everything you just said times 10. And yet, you just said the magic word, the scariest word I have heard on the show, which is the word always. The Patriots always beat the Steelers.
They do.
Okay, they always do. And you're mostly right, but every time I hear that word always, it's just too easy. It's just too cut and dried. It's just a little too obvious because the Pittsburgh Steelers are not a bad football team. They're a troubled football team.
Yes. Okay.
They're
I'll
a
give you that.
dysfunctional
Yep.
football
Sure.
team.
Yep.
I never really understand if the coach and the quarterback are on the same page or what. I don't know what's going on with them. But it sounds like James Conner is not going to be able to come back and play. He did not practice yesterday, so that's another big point in your favor.
Think they miss
But-
Le'Veon?
What's that?
Think they miss Le'Veon?
Well, they do if he can't go,
Maybe now.
obviously.
No?
Yeah. I think James Conner's pretty good. I don't think there's been any drop-off there. But if he's gone, they got big problems. So, for once, when it comes to Tom Brady, I'm going to speak with my head over my heart. As much as I love Tom Brady, and I still do, and I still believe he hasn't deteriorated at all, there's no erosion of his skill as he hits age 41, I do not trust Bill Belichick's defense.
Oh, man, you need to stop, Skip.
What happened in Miami was a debacle, and I'm not sure they're going to be able to bounce right back from this one. This wasn't just an off game, a bad day at the office. This was an all-time final play collapse, and it's just hard to get through that because the man most responsible for the collapse was the genius head coach, the greatest coach ever,
It
Bill
happens.
Belichick. Well, it doesn't happen to the greatest coach ever. Not like that. Not with Gronk back there for a Hail Mary that would have to travel like 80 yards in the air. I don't know. I'm
Well,
sorry.
he thought he was playing Kansas City and Mahomes was going to be throwing
Maybe he
it.
thought that. But you know what? One of these Sundays, just one of these Sundays, Pittsburgh's just going to say, this is enough. And it was really last year at Pittsburgh that they said enough because they did everything but win that game. Because there was the Jesse James controversy at the goal line, first and goal from the 10, and you didn't think it was a catch. I just thought it was a catch. I thought he rolled into the end zone, and I thought that was it. I thought Pittsburgh had finally broken through. And then it gets down to 3rd and goal from the 7, and you know the rest of the story. Ben's sniping back at the sideline, and they're not on the same page, and he throws one of the ugliest, dumbest interceptions you'll ever see.
Yep.
So, again, it was that close to this ending last year.
Right.
And so you know all the numbers. Tom Brady's 11-2 against Pittsburgh lifetime, and he's 6-2 overall in Pittsburgh, 2-0 in the playoffs, and he's 30 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. And I believe that part of the equation is going to continue on Sunday.
Yes.
I think Tom will have a big game. I think he will put up, just as he did in the last Super Bowl, I think he's going to score 33 points. And I think Pittsburgh's going to score 35 because this defense is not very good. It's below average. And I know it's 12th overall in points allowed, but for a Belichick defense, that's just not great. Usually you're always talking about, well, they're middle of the pack in yards allowed, but they're top 5 in points allowed. But that's not happening right now. They're 12th in points allowed, and they're 24th in allowing opponents to convert 3rd downs. Just watch what's going to happen. Ben's still got that guy named Antonio Brown, and he's still got Juju, and he's still got those 2 tight ends, Vance McDonald and Jesse James. And he's even still got my ex-guy, little Ryan Switzer. He's got weapons everywhere,
Yeah, he does.
right?
And he's still got the ability, the propensity to turn the football over.
He does, but he's got the propensity to throw 5 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah, he can throw for 5 touchdowns, 500 yards, and he might have a big game, but he'll make the one mistake that'll end up costing the team, and that's what you get. So,
well, you're seeing decline in Tom Brady, so I'm shocked that you rip Tom Brady and say that he's over the hill and one step away from retirement, and then the next day you're picking them hands down, no questions asked, to go win again at Pittsburgh.
Why do you do that?
Just like you can snap your fingers and go beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh.
Why do you do that?
Okay, I'm not doing anything, but you don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers still have some Steelers pride left?
Did they have it in Oakland?
No, but
what about
I make the case they were looking ahead to this game because they're just sick and tired of hearing about what Tom Brady does to them every single year.
What about in Denver? Did they have a little of that?
Well, they had the game won, right? Mm-hmm. They had it won.
Exactly.
And then what happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what about San Diego? At home, up 16.
Yeah.
But you want me to have confidence in them.
Okay. Ben Roethlisberger did win 2 Super Bowls. I don't know how he did that, right?
When last time he won one?
Well, it's been a while, but hey, have they not traditionally hasn't this been a top 5 offense year after year?
Yeah, I mean, like you tell me about Aaron Rodgers. It's been almost 10 years, right? Been almost 10 years, huh, Skip?
Well, okay.
You don't like that. I mean, the guy don't win a Super Bowl every other year. He terrible.
I don't like Bill Belichick's defense.
You know what? No, you don't like Coach. Just go ahead and say it. Just go ahead and say it. You don't like Coach Belichick.
No, I don't.
The greatest coach.
I don't like what he tried to tried to cut Tom Brady.
Greatest coach.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Greatest coach.
He's not. Bill Walsh is. It's not even close.
Stop it.
Not even close. No. Bill Walsh coached both sides of the football.
Yeah.
Genius on offense, genius on defense.
That's what Coach Belichick does.
Yeah.
That's what Tom Brady said. So all I know is that Joe Montana won the Super Bowl, scored the most points in Super Bowl history without Bill Walsh. And that's no disrespect. Bill Walsh is a great mind.
Who established the whole system? Who picked all those players?
Well, who says
Bill Walsh did.
Who do you
all
think,
of them.
Who do you think picking all them players in New England? Yeah. Who saw something in a bad body, terrible 40 running quarterback?
I think he saw nothing.
He saw.
It was an afterthought. It was the 6th round.
Hold on, Skip.
If he had loved him, he would have taken him in the 2nd round.
Okay, why didn't he cut him?
First
why didn't he cut him? He kept him on the roster, although he never played a snap. So why? He saw something.
Because Charlie Weiss sat right here and said, we knew from the first practice there was something special about that kid.
Who is we?
The whole staff.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what the staff. Yeah. It only matters what BB, the one that had the cutoff sleeves with BB on his chest. It only matters what he thinks. And he said, you know what? I got me a diamond in the rough.
Yeah, and then he thought Tom Brady was washed up and he wanted him out. He did not want him here this year.
You're a genius.
Tom Brady made him eat it last year by winning the MVP and putting up 33 in the Super Bowl and 500.
And Jenny, where did he come to my restaurant? Jenny, I opened it up for one night only.
He should have opened it up because he just set an all-time playoff record of any playoff game ever, 505.
I laid out that Moet. I laid out that good stuff for him. I wanted him to be festive.
That's why nobody ate at your restaurant that night because Tom Brady wasn't there.
Yeah, he came. Yeah. Oh, he came. I laid it out for him, too.
Did you?
But see, Skip,
You made it
always
eat out in the alley?
Why you try to minimize Coach Belichick's impact on this thing? Coach Belichick is a genius. And you know what makes geniuses so unique is that they see things that no one else sees.
Yeah.
And they hit the target.
Yeah. I'm going to put Rob Gronkowski in for a Hail Mary that wasn't going to happen.
I'm going to take this guy as a 6th-round draft pick out of Michigan who couldn't beat out Brian Greasy, who couldn't beat out Drew Henson.
Hey, I watched it. Wait. Go look at the tape of the Orange Bowl that year against Alabama. It wasn't Nick's Alabama, but go look at what Tom Brady did to Alabama in the Orange Bowl. Go look.
Time out.
Yeah.
Coach Belichick saw something. Just like Coach Reed saw something in a skinny kid from Savannah State. Say that, you know what, that boy there?
Yeah.
That fella there.
If he really thought that, he would have taken you in the 2nd round.
No!
Yeah.
Nah, look here. Why would I pay $25 million for a condo if I can get it for $2 million? Jenny, does that make any sense to you? Of course not.
But if you think that condo is worth $25 million, you better at least take it in the 3rd round.
Not if I can get it.
Because somebody else out there is going to be smart enough to
It's a
take
little risky.
What is life without
Well, to add to your point, for Bill Belichick, a playoff berth would be his 17th. That places him 3rd all time.
17, Skip Bayless.
Completely a product of the quarterback.
No, yeah, you're right.
Well,
the quarterback is completely a product of Coach Belichick's system.
What was Coach Belichick's record as a head coach before Tom Brady fell out of the sky into his
There are a lot of people
there
that had
was
bad
that
records.
one record to bring up. Okay, well, what about the Chargers? Maybe a few teams in the AFC should be worried about what they're doing. We'll discuss that with Eric Dickerson next.
No mercy.
The Chargers won a thriller over the Chiefs last night, and we are joined by FS1 NFL analyst Eric Dickerson. Eric, good to see you.
Thank you. Good seeing you, too. I'm still a ambassador.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm curious your take on this one, and I want to ask you if the Chargers are now the team to beat in the AFC.
You know, I said this many weeks ago, watch this Chargers football team, and teams peak at the right time. To me, the Chargers are peaking right now at the right time. They've won 10 out of the last 11 games. They should have not lost to the Broncos. They gave them that game. That was a game that was their game. I think that will possibly come back to haunt them. But this team is playing so good. The only thing that concerns me with the Chargers is Phillip Rivers most definitely is a Hall of Fame quarterback, but he has a tendency to throw those interceptions at the wrong time. The Chargers should have won this game by at least 14 points. I really believe that. They're playing very good on defense. I mean, and one thing you think about the Chargers, they're playing with a lot of, in a sense, backups at times because their team is not a healthy team. They got Melvin Gordon out. They just got Joey Bosa back. You know, a guy who I really like is Derwin James. I like him. You know, Casey Hayward, I like him. I mean, they got some young players, Melvin Ingram. They've got some guys on that team that can play football. So right now, is this the best team in the AFC? I really believe that. They went down and beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. At home. Came back, Pittsburgh gave up this big lead. Also, they went and beat Kansas City in Kansas City. Something I got to say, even my Rams haven't done. We haven't beat the teams we should have beat on the road. So, to me, I think this is the best team in the AFC.
Of course. So who called it? I told him.
Called it?
I told him.
Yeah.
Oh, he laughed at me.
I did not laugh at you.
No, they started the season 0-2. You want to back out of that? No, I'm going to say.
There's some due on that?
Yeah. No, he ain't got no due. We ain't got no due. We going to have some, though. Yes, I do believe there because I believe they're the most complete team, especially if they get Melvin Gordon back and he can come back healthy. Because he can run the football. Those big receivers, they go 6'4", 6'4", 6'3". Antonio Gates is not the same guy, Skip. He can't play 65 plays and dominate the game. But you see those third down catches he came up with last night?
Looks a little heavy to me. Just
Little.
I was like, who is that?
As long as he can catch.
Yo, he can.
As long as he can
He ain't
catch.
gonna
That
get
bread
too far.
basket.
Hey, he ain't gonna get
That
too
bread
far.
basket.
He like an old criminal. He might steal something, but he ain't gonna get too far. Oh, they ain't go down the road right there. But anyway, I do believe they're the most complete team in all the AFC, Skip. They do play defense. Melvin Ingram, Joey Bosa, so it's hard to slide the line. They got good interior push. And I've always felt, Skip, once Kansas City lost Kareem Hunt, when Kareem Hunt left, he was the third leading rusher in all of football. He made this team more vulnerable because now they can't run out the clock. These other, and you look at it last night and see it got flawed early on because they when he left, I think the first game, Pat Mahomes had like 70 yards rushing. And that went into the total. Like, well, see, they ain't even missing. They had 150 yards rushing. You can't count on your quarterback to give you 70 yards rushing every game like you could count on Kareem Hunt giving you 80 to 100 yards rushing. So I thought that made them very vulnerable. But with Phillip Rivers and this receiving core, And the way they can play defense, you go to Pittsburgh and you fall down 16 and you win. You go to Kansas City, you fall down 14 and you win. That gives you the ultimate confidence. I still believe they win out, Skip. They'd be 13-3. They're going to be a wild card. But there's not a venue that they can't go to and win.
Interesting. Mr. Dickerson, you being the Ram ambassador, I got this schedule here of the Chargers. Is this wrong about September? Is that a misprint? September 23rd, Los Angeles Rams loss.
Yeah.
That's a loss.
That's a loss, right?
35-23. Oh wait, the Rams beat the Chargers. Beat them down, right?
Oh, they beat them down. They beat them down now.
Beat them down. So, you have made a very good pick, but it ain't over until it's over, and I'm not sure it's over just yet. I do believe it's over for the Chiefs because there's something about Andy Reid teams, they fade. The colder it gets, the colder they get. There's something about a lack of physicality. There's something about all offense and no defense. Andy is a play caller. There's no defense in his DNA, right? And he likes to throw the football and he likes to pretty throw it. He likes to out-scheme you, outwit you, outsmart you. And when it comes time to just pounding the rock, and remember, last night, they're up 3 times. They're up 14-0, 21-7, 28-14. You just, at home, in December, you got to close that deal, right?
Yep.
And you have to run the ball down somebody's throat, and they were not able to. Obviously, they don't have a Kareem Hunt, but I never considered him a power back, right?
He's more power than you think. Skip, you know the turning point? Even though they went on to score, when Tyreek Hill dropped that touchdown, those are the type plays that gut you.
They come back to home.
They gut you because that's a 55-yard bomb, and now all the momentum is taken out of it. But because he dropped it, they went on to score. They was like, hold on, we still here. We still here. It's something about giving up those long touchdowns, ED, on the road that just, oh, man.
You know, but the big thing is, and you said it, you know, and I said this earlier, I said when they lost Kareem Hunt, you don't realize how big that is, not just for the team. Because, you know, when you play on a football team and you get to know a guy and he's part of your football team, he led to led the NFL in rushing last year. That's big. You're losing the NFL leading rusher, and he was having another great year.
Yeah.
You know, the thing that made him so dangerous is not that he's quick and he's fast.
Yeah.
When you're fast and but he's a football player, not just a speedster.
More power than you think, too.
He's a football player, and that when I said this team will not be the same, and I agree with you, Skip. I've said this from the beginning when they talk about the Chiefs. I said the Chiefs always start like this and they go shh. Here they come back to the ground.
They come back.
And my big thing is I feel like that they will. I think the Chargers will win their last 2 games. I think they will beat the Ravens, and I think they will go up in Denver and say, look, we're gonna beat you like we should have beat you the first time. But the Seahawks are playing very good football. That's who the Chiefs have to play still. I think they will lose to the Kansas City Chiefs.
So do I.
But I think they will beat. I think you never know how the Raiders going to play. They play the Raiders last, and I think if they lose one game and the Chargers went out, the Chargers win the division.
No, the Chargers are the number 1 seed.
They won the number 1 seed. So
That's the thing.
I think that's what's going to happen.
They would be the number 1 seed.
And you'd be home free.
I think that's what's going to happen.
But you know what, Skip? What will hurt you when you get a lead? They got a lead last night, and I remember, ED, and I know you know this. You get into a 4-minute offense. You get 2 tight ends, you get 2 running backs, you get a wide receiver. And you say, you know what? San Diego, you're not getting this ball back. When you get it back, it might be 5 seconds on the clock because we're going to run it out. You're not touching this ball. They couldn't do that last night. And they tried to, and on first down, first of all, they got the block in the back, so that set them behind the 8 ball. Now you go on first down, Skip, you get stopped in the backfield for -3. So now
Damian Williams, University of Oklahoma.
So now they know. Guess what you got to do?
Program. It's okay.
You got to throw it.
You got to throw it.
San Diego know you got to throw it.
Yep.
Here come them rushers.
So here's what's going to happen. As Eric just said, Kansas City loses at Seattle, and I believe that your Denver Broncos will derail your Los Angeles Chargers in the final game. They already beat them once. It's a rivalry. They'll just think we got this. And it'll be just like New England at Miami, where the Dolphins just think they're going to win that game somehow, some crazy way, and they pulled it off. And I think they're going to spoil the Chargers' season. And that could open the door for a team you just picked to win at Pittsburgh. And that team is quarterbacked by the greatest quarterback ever. And I don't think they're going to win at Pittsburgh. But if you were right, and you've been right about the Chargers, if you're right now about New England winning at Pittsburgh, New England's going to vault right back into that number 1 seed. And then you better look out.
AFC,
right?
The AFC West team will be the number 1 seed in the AFC.
Well, you better win out.
I think they will win out. I mean, I just don't see them going down to Denver and losing. That game, you know how it is. You look on the scale like, man, we should have beat them. We had
had 400 yards passing.
Exactly. How we lose to them? You saw Melvin Ingram on the side after the game. He threw his helmet down like, man, we don't lose these games.
They lost at home.
I know.
And it happens.
And I think the thing is, they're going to go up to Denver and say, you know what, we're going to put a beating on y'all.
Really?
That's the last game of the season. Y'all ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
We're going to beat y'all up real good. And, and when it comes to that, you're like, man, I don't want to get hurt.
Well, you know me.
I don't want to get hurt.
I was poor. If I couldn't go to the playoffs, I'm trying to keep you out.
That's it. That's it.
That's what's going to happen.
I'm like, hey, okay. Hey, what you doing next week? Same thing I'm doing.
But now check it out. You're trying to keep them out. But let me say, when that game, say you down 21-0, and it's the first quarter, was you like, man,
I ain't trying to get hurt.
I ain't trying to get hurt. I ain't trying to get hurt out here. I want to go home.
A lot to think about in that moment. All right, Eric, you're going to stick around.
Yeah.
We need to know if the Rambassador is maybe going to jump on the Cowboys bandwagon. I don't know. You've been hanging around with this guy a lot. We'll discuss next.
I won't say anything.
No mercy.
We're week 15 of the NFL season. Only 6 teams have been eliminated from playoff contention. There are still 26 teams that have a shot to make the playoffs. That is the most since 2004. Boy, all right, let's talk about that Cowboys game. Dallas is on a 5-game winning streak, but they're still a 3-point underdog on the road against the Colts. Dak Prescott is leading the NFC in passing yards over the last 5 games, thanks largely to his new weapon, Amari Cooper. The Colts are also hot, winning 6 of their last 7. So Eric Dickerson's still with us. Eric, who wins Sunday?
Yeah, Eric.
Undercover Cowboy fan.
Man, first of all, I am not a Cowboy. Let's get that straight.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Sealy,
say
Texas,
I'm gonna
born
say
and
this
raised.
much right here. I think what the Cowboys would do what they do best. They will come out and run the football against the Colts and try to keep the ball away from Andrew Luck. Now it comes down to, is Dak Prescott a game manager, or is he in the same class as a Carson Wentz? Is he in there with Jared Goff?
Is it?
Carson Wentz?
Andrew. Well, no, I thought
Wait,
he was.
you should ask, is Carson Wentz in the same category? I'm sorry.
Thank you, Skip. Thank you, Skip.
Let's get this straight.
Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
Andrew Luck. Is he in that class? Can he not turn the football? And I like Dak. But he has a tendency sometimes to turn the football over. They're on a 5-game winning streak. But one thing is, the Cowboys don't play well on the road. I think they're 2-4 on the road. I am going to go with my old team. One of my old team, the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yes, because, and I think the big thing is the coach, Frank Wright. He knows Jason Garrett. He knows the Cowboys. The offense is very bland. Andrew Luck is one of the elite quarterbacks in the NFL. One thing that the coach finally did that they didn't do when I was there my last couple of years is get him some offensive linemen. Because I told him at one point my offensive line was so bad I feel like I'm going to Vietnam with a BB gun. That's how I feel. So they've got him some offensive linemen, and I think Andrew Luck and Frank Wright will dismantle the Dallas Cowboys. So that is what I'm thinking, Skip. I'm going against the Cowboys.
Good for you. I like it. Go ahead.
Now you go. I know you want to go. Go ahead.
Next.
So, Eric Dickerson, you played running back, and I still think you're the greatest running back ever.
But thank you. I know you're smart for a reason.
Now we're talking about quarterbacks, and Andrew Luck was overrated before he was drafted,
come on,
and he
Skip.
remains overrated in the National Football League. And now all those experts who just gushed about him before the draft have leaped back on the bandwagon. He's the comeback player of the year. I used to derisively call him Andrew Locke, as in Locke, first ballot Hall of Famer, and I wasn't seeing it those first 4 years. You want to talk about turnovers? He was the turnover machine. He tied for first in turnovers his rookie year. He was second in turnovers his 3rd year in the NFL. I'm talking about both fumbles and interceptions. And every time I look up, he throws them. The classic game was against Alex Smith and the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs. He threw them into the deepest hole with 3 big interceptions, and then he managed to throw them out of it because Alex Smith checked it down too often and couldn't pull it out in the end.
Kind of like that last week, huh?
Yeah. Dak Prescott, I'm going to say it again, he went 17 of 20 in the fourth quarter and overtime for 243 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Is that good?
Yeah, it's good.
That's Brady-esque.
How many picks did he have, though?
Early, he had a
What
couple.
did he have in it?
Wasn't Andrew Luck, how many points was Andrew Luck down? And he came back in a playoff game because we have yet to see Dak get to the am I correct, Skip? Andrew Luck went to the playoffs first year, second year, third year.
Yep. So all I want to remind everybody about Andrew Luck is that as hot as he is, just 2 weeks ago, he went to Jacksonville. And Jacksonville's been hit and miss on defense. They've been a little overrated this year. And he managed to score all of 0. He put a big goose egg up at Jacksonville, and they lost 6-0. And just about 7 weeks ago now, Jacksonville came to Dallas, and this is without Amari Cooper.
Like the third week of the season, fourth week of the season.
This is recently.
There wasn't no reason.
It was a
And
while
guess
ago.
what? My team hung 24 on Jacksonville in the first half. They were up 24-0 at halftime and wound up winning 40-7 because the Dak attack can flat out drive the football. And the Dak attack, do you realize the Dak attack leads the NFL in time of possession? Time of possession. And are the triplets back in force now? Because I got Dak, I got Zeke, and I got Amari. And you just watch the plays they're going to make at Indianapolis because my team's just a little better on offense and a little better on defense than the Indianapolis Colts. And do you want to throw out your stats about my team in the fourth quarter on defense? Do you want to throw those out?
No, first quarter.
Yeah.
They've only given a 14.
Well, how about the fourth quarter?
Oh, they're good.
They're good.
But Edie, normally when a team has almost 600 total yards, you have a 200-yard receiver, a 20-yard rusher, and a 450-yard passer. You don't normally need overtime
It's
to
a
win the game.
beat down. It's a beat
Yeah.
down. It should be a beat
What
down. It
happened,
should be a
Skip
beat down.
Bayless? But you know what?
Our quarterback made some early errors that kept him in the game.
You see what you did, Skip? This is what you did about Andrew Luck. You say just a couple of weeks ago, he went to Jacksonville
Well, he did.
and scored 0 points.
He scored 0.
But your guy at home only scored 14 points against Tennessee, but he goes to Philly and wins, and now you see, I told you.
That was the all-time debacle against Tennessee. And then up from the ashes rose the Phoenix, right? Am I right?
Well, for Andrew Luck,
Did they not just go on a 6-game winning streak?
that was an all-time debacle for Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
So now he's going to get right against your team.
First of all, Andrew Luck in his first couple of years, the coach there was a defensive-minded coach.
Right.
Defensive-minded coach. Frank Wright is a quarterback.
I give you
He's
that.
a quarterback
I have
and a
nothing but
quarterback
respect
coach.
for
He did a great
Who
job.
who has one of the greatest college comebacks, 31-0 at Miami.
Oh,
He's
that-
at Maryland.
that matters
And the
as well.
biggest NFL comeback in history. He orchestrated.
Buffalo Bills over the Houston Oilers.
So now, Skip Bayless, he was Andrew
Is he
Luck.
going to play quarterback?
No.
Because if he plays, I might be in trouble.
Now he's directing Andrew Luck.
Is he?
Yep.
He's very good at what he does, and I think Dougie P misses him greatly,
great.
right?
Why you got to take a shot at Dougie P?
He's
He
gotta
wrote
write-
that book Fearless on the New York Times
Got to
bestseller.
write a sequel called Fearful.
He wasn't fearful.
Yeah.
But your day coming. See, you know what? You front run, Skip Bayless. I
I'm
know
not
that about
front runner.
your
I'm
team.
just spitting facts
No,
over here.
you was down on your team, or you led.
Oh, was he down? Oh,
he
my
was-
God.
Oh, that Monday
I had to
night
get my
game-
jersey.
Yeah,
I brought you back to life, Skip. You gotta thank me. I brought you back to life.
That necessitated because he was when they lost to Tennessee, he all on the floor. Like,
I'm giving up.
By the way,
Yeah, okay.
I hate to tell you this, but I almost threw your jersey away this past Sunday.
What, Skip?
I walked right in. You can look at my Instagram. I
on,
walked
Skip.
right in. I was going to
Don't
throw
you
it in
do
the
that to me,
trash,
Skip.
and then I heard the TV. Oh, it's a bomb to Amari, and I'm like,
I'm
really? I
not a
gotta
trainer
run back.
after all. I want to put it back on.
But your day coming, you'll throw it in the trash before it's all said and done, and you have to buy him another one. Because you're going to throw it in the trash. Because, see, this one, and this one, you ain't going to throw it in the trash in the kitchen. You're going to want that thing to the dumpster outside to make sure it's gone.
That may
Because
be
it's going to skip. It's
Skip,
going
let me
to
ask you this.
Yep.
Why don't you like Andrew Luck? I mean, see, you got to think about this. Andrew Luck is, first of all, he's still a young quarterback, and he really did not have any help.
None.
None.
No running help, no line
offensive
help.
line. I mean, when you don't have an offensive line, I don't care who you are. You can be Tom Brady, you can be Joe Montana, Eric Dickerson in Indianapolis. When you you struggle, and you struggle badly, especially a quarterback position. Now, this year, I see such a difference in the offensive line. He's getting protection. I mean, don't get me wrong. Dallas, I think, has a very good defense. I'm not saying they have a very good defense. So we will see what they can do, what the Colts can do. But I really believe he's one of the elite quarterbacks in the NFL. I never jumped off of him.
I don't love him. Never loved him.
You don't even like him.
I was on record before the draft. You can look it up. I did not love his feel for the game. He would always hold the ball too long and try to make the play to win the game, and he threw too many picks.
Dak holds the ball a long time.
Exactly.
I said, Dak, I like that. He hold it like, I'm like, okay, Dak.
Whoa. This is the next John Elway coming out of Stanford University. Am I right?
Well, Skip. I mean, once you
Number one overall.
Once you get compared to that, he's the highest-rated player since John Elway. So there are comparisons right there. Right. He played at Stanford. He went to. I mean, think about what you got to do. I mean, you go into Stanford where everybody knows John Elway played. Jim Plunkett wasn't the Heisman, but John is still thought of. And then you go to Indy. A guy won 4 MVPs, went to 2 Super Bowls there. A floor of the hospital is named after him. He has a statue outside of the building.
Biggest mistake Jim Irsay ever made was to push Peyton out the back door prematurely. What did he do when he went to Denver? And I said it on TV.
That was because of the defense. I mean, look, when Peyton came, Peyton threw a gang of picks. I mean, my God, I'm like, what are you looking at, Peyton?
And then what happened?
And Elway the same way. Yeah. A gang of picks.
Elway lined up under the guard one time.
Is this Andrew's luck? Like, is this his 15th year? Or is this
it feels like it.
No, it does not.
And then he held the ball too long, and when he took off running, he can run. I mean, he's got speed, but then he tries to run over people.
Not anymore.
He's a little thick-headed for me. He gets a little, wide-eyed, and I never liked his body language. I just don't think he's a big winner.
You're not going to like him this week, I'm telling you.
Yeah, you'll hate him. I like Andrew Luck. Met him a couple times. He's a good kid.
I'm sure he is a great kid.
Yeah,
he is truly aw shucks gee whiz.
No, he's not.
I mean, it's not just for the cameras like Brady does. No. Brady does it just to deflect.
They're not Brady like that.
Yeah.
No, what is all shucks gee whiz? What is that for? Is that saying your country?
Corny, Tom.
No, it's not.
Corny, Andrew.
It's corny. It's corny.
I don't mind it, but I've already gone.
That is kind of from the country. I said, oh, shucks.
I mean,
shucks,
golly.
Andrew Luck is truly nerdy. He's not a franchise leader. The ultimate alpha leader of the Dallas Cowboys is my quarterback. He is.
He throws picks and holds the ball too long, too, and I like him still.
Midwest Mary over here, she loves all these shucks, dollar cheese.
That's what I'm used to. What can I say?
Well, I heard that too. Golly.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what, Skip? That energy that you come out here with last week, when he did what he did, he threw for 455, and he was 17 of 20, 243, 3 touchdowns in 4 quarters overtime. I want that energy. I want that energy. Yeah. I'm gonna need that. I'm okay. You okay?
I've been telling you.
Okay.
The team that has taken, you talk about late in the season, teams catch fire right on schedule. This team has caught fire.
You better not throw my jersey away. I know that. You better not throw my jersey away. I wouldn't bought you.
If the Cowboys lose this thing, look here. You go buy extra TVs.
Skip,
boy, I'm going to turn up on Skip so bad on Monday.
Well, we don't have to have this game. We don't have to.
No. Oh, no, I'm not going to let you do that, Skip Bayless. I'm not going to let you try to win.
I mean, I'm not doing it. Math is doing it.
No.
I don't need it. I don't need it.
No. You see what he's trying to do?
I'm not trying to do anything.
Why? He want to take some of that toxicity. It's not like we need the game.
Well, we don't.
All we just have to do is win one game, and we win.
Okay, guess who we got next? We got Tampa coming to our place.
I'm not going to let you drain. You trying to drain my toxicity, in which I'm going to bring that venom.
All right.
I'm going to be a common brown.
Let's just say they lose the last 2. What would you do then?
Last 3?
Yeah, I'm sorry, last. Well, let's go.
That's the worst.
Let's say the next 2.
You don't want to think about
then they would have to go beat the Giants in New York.
Not happening.
Not easy.
Nope.
Yeah.
Trying to drain me.
That could happen.
So, give me 3 points for 2 cases.
Nope.
It's done. Here we go. Let's do it right now.
Do it. Eric, can you help him out here? No,
I'm bringing you 10 cases.
Maybe
Skip.
more gifts. Maybe you have to get him a jersey.
Skip, I'm bringing you 10. I'm paying off my debt.
No. All right, Eric. Thank you for being here. These two never going to agree. What happened to LeBron last night in Houston? We'll discuss that with Steven Jackson next.
No mercy.
Hey guys, Jenny Taft here. More of the Undisputed podcast is on the way, but first, a quick word from one of our sponsors. UFC featherweight Brian Ortega loves the fight, loves the strategy, and you know what else he loves? Toyo tires. Because, like Ortega, Toyo tires are as tough as they come, and they are the official tire of the UFC. There's a lot to love about Toyo tires. Aggressive design, proven on and off-road capabilities, tires for any weather, and the toughness to back it all up. We all know there's nothing worse than being stranded on the side of the road with a faulty tire. there's a confidence that comes with tough tires. So no matter what you're driving, no matter where you're driving, you can count on Toyo tires. Tough people love tough tires. If you're tough, these are the tires for you. Toyo tires. So the next time you need tires, ask for Toyo, the official tire of the UFC. Learn more at toyotires.com/UFC. Now, back to the show.
No mercy.
James Harden had a monster game last night, finishing with a 50-point triple-double, and the struggling Rockets beat the Lakers by 15. LeBron finished with 29 points, but it wasn't nearly enough. He only had 2 points on 2 shot attempts in the fourth quarter. We're joined by FS1 NBA analyst Steven Jackson. Steven, what grade would you give LeBron for his performance last night?
Just like I give him every other night, an A. He do his job. I mean, every year we always
Did
talk.
you just you gave him an A?
Give A, just that. That's what you heard, Stack.
He does his job. He was shot 11 for 18. He didn't shoot bad.
12 of 18.
12 of 18. He had a great game. He does his job. He can't do it by himself. This is the same conversation we had last year when we were in Cleveland about LeBron. What do you give him a grade? Well, he does his job. It's always his supporting cast. We know he doesn't have the supporting cast that he's had in the future, but his game stays the same. He plays every night. It's never the question is him. It's always the team around him.
Yeah, you heard that. You heard what he said.
I heard it.
But you know what?
I'm not swallowing it, but I heard it.
Unlike Stacks, I can't give him an A. I'm going to give him a C.
Wow.
I thought he was.
Oh, we're not going to have an earthquake today?
No.
Okay. All right.
Opened this show, it was early in the show. He was as objective about LeBron's game last night as he's ever been about any LeBron game.
Stacks, the reason why, because I thought he was, for 3 quarters, I thought he was great. 9 points in the first, 9 points in the second, 9 points in the third. He was 11 of 16, 27 points, only had 2 turnovers. But in the fourth quarter, when they needed him, when James Harden was starting to get it going, I needed him to match James Harden's ferocity. He only had 2 shot attempts. That's not good enough.
Now you see what we talk about, that killer mentality that Jordan and Kobe had. He don't have that some nights. This is exactly what we talking about. Take that challenge with James Harden. You take that challenge.
I also thought Luke left him on the bench too long. When you start to see the game, and granted, now when he came back in, Skip, they were only down 4 points.
Right.
But there are some things that I saw. 5 rebounds not enough when you're getting crushed on the offensive glass. The assist total. Assists, they come and go because it's a make or miss league. You can put guys in great situations, but if they don't finish the play, but I thought he should have said, you know what, James, okay, is that what you want to make this? You want to make this a one-on-one battle? Okay, well, come catch this. Instead of, I thought he settled. James Harden is going to get calls that no one else is going to get, be it on the step back, pull-up 3, or driving the basketball. And I just think LeBron should have took that challenge upon himself to say, okay, we're going to turn this into a one-on. Yeah, I understand it's the Lakers and the Rockets, but it's basically now it's mano-a-mano. It's me versus you. And I didn't see that. But 2 shot attempts in the fourth quarter, that's not nearly enough.
No.
Changing your grade?
No.
No?
He still played great.
So I'm going to be generous here. I'm going to give LeBron a D+. And I'm going to give him the plus.
You got to curve this out.
I know. I'm going to give him the plus because of what Steven just said. He made 12 out of 18 shots. He made 3 out of 6 3-point shots. And he scored 29 points. So that's the plus. The rest of it, D, is for just dreadful energy, effort. He hit the wall last night, and I don't get it. You got to explain. Was he ill? I don't know.
No, I told you we don't make excuses.
Well, I don't know because he ran out of gas in the fourth quarter. Is he having to do too much to carry the kids and the cast-offs? Maybe. But the other issue I have, they did not like the way the game was being refereed, but it's refereed the same way every night that James Harden and Chris Paul play. They get away with near murder every night because they're wily and they're highly skilled. They're almost artists at drawing fouls, especially James. And the refs are just going to give him that up and under call on the 3-point shot. They're just going to give it to him. So LeBron got so upset in the third quarter that he showed up the referees by playing D with his hands clasped behind his back. You cannot do that to NBA referees because they're going to get even with you at some point later in the game. And they got even with 4 minutes left when it was still just a 3-point game. And can we see the Josh Hart play? It's just, we're seeing LeBron.
Terrible call.
But it's just horrible.
Yeah.
It's just like you can't give James this. Give him a lot, but don't give him that one. Josh Hart's got his hand sideways. He doesn't even try to bother the shot. He didn't reach. He did nothing, right?
Bad. That's
okay.
bad.
That's terrible, and that effectively broke the game open because James marches right to the free throw line and goes swish, swish, swish.
Yep.
Now it's a 6-point game. Then he comes down, hits a big bomb, and then he comes down, hits a step back 2, and all of a sudden you're buried. You're blown off the floor.
It was a 3-point game.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden it's an 11-point game.
Okay, but because it is kids and a lot of cast-offs, LeBron can't set that tone because you just can't give into it. You can't say to your team, oh, let's all play with our hands behind our backs, because you just have to play through it. You know he's going to get those calls, but you're better than that because you're a better player than he is. To me, all around, you're better, and both of us picked the game at the end of the show yesterday, and we thought the Los Angeles Lakers could go in there and beat them because they'd lost 7 of their last 10 games.
Yes.
They were losing to Detroit and Cleveland, and they lost to Dallas twice. Well, come on. You're better than this. And the King got out-kinged in the fourth quarter, 17-2 by James Harden. And to your point, LeBron is without energy, and I don't know if he told Luke, I'm just out of gas, because he sits for half the fourth quarter of a close game. It's nip-tuck the whole fourth quarter. So he comes in with 6 minutes left, and then we just got to show this one more time, but this is Daniel House Jr., undrafted out of Texas A&M, bounced around to the Wizards and the Suns, and can we see this play? Watch this dunk. LeBron, you got to contest a little bit. He's got 1 foul at that point. Contest it. Don't Olay it. He just Olayed him.
You don't Olay it.
You know, this man, back in the day.
Man, they don't foul like that no more.
But it's not about being fouled. Perfect example. If it's a pick and roll, you throw a lob. You ain't got to foul the guy, but don't let him catch the lob, hit his arm.
Yeah.
It's not that's not a bad foul.
But you have to put up some kind of fight. There,
Exactly,
right? Just some
exactly.
kind of fight. I don't know. You don't have to clothesline him. You don't have. You just have to contest.
That skank missed triple dub. She showed up for James Harden.
Yeah.
That's LeBron. That's LeBron. LeBron was supposed to get a triple dub.
Yeah.
And she showed 50-point triple dub for James Harden. He got probably more of those than anybody else, than everybody else in NBA history combined.
Yep.
But they can't look. James Harden is as good at getting to the rim.
You can't beat him though when he getting those calls.
No.
Those calls he got last night,
No.
a lot of them were bad, and when he's getting those calls like that, it's hard to defend him, and that takes the energy from your team, and the referee's got to get a hold of that because a lot of those wasn't fouls.
Okay, the Rockets shot 32 free throw attempts. The Lakers shot 27. That's not a huge disparity.
Not at all.
But one team missed 12 free throws, the other team missed 5.
And then a lot of their fouls were 3-point attempts.
Yes.
So that hurts.
So I'm like, okay, granted, some of the calls were bogus, but how about you make most of your free throws? And I say, this is why I don't feel the Lakers will maximize their potential of what they could be this year. They turn the ball over and they shoot too poorly at the free throw line. And you know, Stacks, when you go on the road, if you turn it over, and they didn't have a whole lot of turnovers. They only turned the ball over 12 times. But like you said, Skip, it was a 3-point game, turnover 6-point game, turnover 9-point game, turnover 11-point game. And so what was a close game is over. Now they foul you and you can't make up any ground when the clock is stopped because you doinking. I'm like, is the basketball when the Lakers shoot made of cement? Because they show clinking these balls up here.
And they get some good looks, too, now.
And hold on, Skip Bayless. I noticed you ain't said nothing lately about your guy.
We're talking about LeBron here.
Was
that the topic?
You know what?
Which guy?
Okay, we're talking
It's the
about
topic
LeBron
every
James.
day.
And let me finish this by saying one superstar went to the free throw line 19 times and made 18. Is that good? That's really good.
That's awesome.
The other superstar went to the line only 6 times and made 2 out of 6. Not good. That superstar named LeBron James is now making 69% for the season. That's not good enough.
That's bad. But you know what, Skip? Forget the 69%. Only 6 free throw attempts, so that's telling you he's not putting the ball
He's
on
not
the floor, get to the
attacking.
rim.
Right.
Get to the rim. Go to the rim with them bows. Throw them bows. I'm going to the rim just like this here.
But we know what Houston did last night, too. When LeBron had the ball, everybody set, everybody shifted. They didn't clog the paint up on James. They let James drive and do whatever he wants, and you can't do that against the best scorer in the league.
Cannot. So, I honor the 29 points. That works for me. But 5 rebounds and 4 assists does not work for me, especially the 5 rebounds. That's just energy and effort.
That's effort.
You're better than that. You're 6'9". They got annihilated on the backboards.
Yeah.
You can set the tone.
Yeah.
Right?
Like I said, the assist total, that comes and goes whether or not guys are making shots.
Right.
Rebound ain't got no do to the other guys. That's you.
Yep, and he can get 10 of them.
Yeah, he can get easy.
Especially if James can do it, you for sure can get 10.
He got it. Whew.
They got crushed on the. I mean, they come on. I need more rebounding from you, JaVale. I need more than 5.
Oh,
Come on, Javale, I need more. I mean, you give me part, and I ain't question you ever because I know he's going to play hard every night. That's one thing I say about Javale. He's going to play hard. But I need a little bit more from my point guard too, Skip.
30 minutes, but you play 30 minutes, you got to get 10 rebounds.
Next up for the Lakers, they continue the road trip in Charlotte tomorrow.
Oh, we got something for you, Kimber.
Saturday, they'll face Michael Jordan and the
Yeah.
Hornets.
Yeah.
Talk a bit more about him
LeBron
later.
dropped his 50-piece on him. Guess what's going to do, Skip?
Yep.
I'm the GOAT. Yeah, I'm the GOAT.
Oh,
for
boy.
him.
I have a feeling you'll show up for that one. Steven, thank you for joining us. So get this. How many rings would Aaron Rodgers have if he had a coach like Bill Belichick?
Well, that's a great question.
Buckle up. This is going to be an interesting topic next.
No mercy.
Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers are considered by most people to be two of the best QBs in the game. One big difference between the two, Brady has been with Bill Belichick his entire career, unlike Rodgers. Former Cowboy great Darren Woodson said Rodgers wouldn't be able to deal with Belichick for that long without, quote, his ego popping up, unlike Brady, who feels it's not about himself. Woodson added, when the Patriots played the Green Bay Packers, people were saying that if Aaron Rodgers played for Bill Belichick, he'd have 5, 6, 7 Super Bowl rings. There's something to be said about the mental toughness. Physically, yeah, there's better quarterbacks in this league than Tom Brady. Physically, that can make the throws off platform, throw the ball 100 miles, and probably more accurate. But the mental toughness that he plays with, that's where he separates himself from everyone. We are joined by Rob Parker, but first, Skip.
Yeah, Skip, you got to start this because I just threw up in my mouth.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I threw up in the trash.
Let you gather yourself.
Yep.
That quote was pretty heavy. Skip, what'd you make of it?
I appreciate my friend Darren Woodson
course.
for having the guts to say this. And by the way, Darren Woodson was one of the smartest defensive players I was ever around. I know we have Rod Woodson on the show, but Darren was right there with Rod as a safety who ran some really good defenses for what should have been the dynastic 90s Dallas Cowboys. And he is in the Cowboy Ring of Honor. Thank you, Darren, for having the courage to say what I have said for years on this show to you two, because I will give you this. Aaron Rodgers with Bill Belichick, just hypothetically, would have won one Super Bowl because we know Aaron won one with Mike McCarthy, right?
Right.
And then it would have all gone straight to hell because Aaron Rodgers would have gotten full of himself because he's got nothing but diva in him. And he would have started saying to Bill Belichick, you can't talk to me that way. You can't talk to my teammates that way. You can't start taking the ball out of my hands, as we have repeatedly seen Belichick say, I think we're going to run the ball tonight. In the one classic game, 2015 down in Miami, I think we're going to run it the whole first half, Tom, and you get to throw 5 passes. And then what happened? We're in trouble here. You got to throw it in the second half. And Tom got the you-know-what kicked out of him in the second half by Ndamukong Suh and Olivier Vernon and all those pass rushers. So the point is that Aaron Rodgers, as Darren said, he would get his ego up because Belichick is hard to stomach. And another quote that we didn't read there, that Jenny didn't read, was he called Tom, what makes him most special is his capacity for handling Belichick. And he's done it for these many years where it's gone on and on and on to the point that he finally had to put his foot down when Belichick wanted to push him out the back door and go forward this year. With
So his ego did get involved at one point in time.
No, I mean, that's just self-protection.
Yeah, that's ego. It's called ego.
No, that's called self-preservation. What are you going to do? After you've won 5 Super Bowls for a franchise, you're going to let that guy push you out the back door? Again,
There are 31 other teams.
It's about credit, and Belichick always got more credit than Tom Brady over the years because Tom allowed it. Tom swallowed his ego. Tom sacrificed his ego for Bill Belichick and let him run the show to the point that all the new teammates that kept coming through the revolving door of Bill Belichick, year after year, Tom Brady would say, this is the way we do it here. Follow my lead. Shut your mouth. Swallow your pride and listen to him and do it his way. He set the tone in the locker room so that Belichick could operate however he wanted to operate. And Tom Brady was so good at playing quarterback that he camouflaged all the poor moves that Belichick made. He could run one receiver in and out the door after another, and it just didn't matter because they kept winning because of number 12. So Aaron Rodgers would have flipped out after one Super Bowl. I'll give you that because Belichick is obviously a very good coach, and Aaron Rodgers
Great
is a
stuff,
very
really
good
stuff.
quarterback.
Stop it. Great.
But period, end of story, one. Don't give me 6 or 7 because he just wouldn't be able to stomach Bill Belichick.
This is where I think most of this stuff that's come out this year about Aaron Rodgers is bogus. And I'm talking about across the board. It's always, they can't dispute his arm, his stats, quarterback rating, all-time leading quarterback rating, touchdown to interception ratio, he's the best. All those things they can't dispute. So now, because he's had an off year for Aaron Rodgers and because his team is bad this year.
And his coach got fired.
You know what they say? So now they're going to tell me about stuff that you can't measure, that you really can't measure. It's somebody's opinion. Oh, that guy's tougher than somebody. How many times you hear Shannon and Skip, you know what I'm saying? A guy's not really putting up the right numbers, but, what he does on the quarter field, you can't really measure.
Right.
You don't see in the box score.
Yeah.
They say that about people that they really like. And if it's somebody else who they don't like,
Absolutely.
it's strictly about the numbers. And that's what this is about Aaron Rodgers. This assassination of the greatest thrower of the football I've ever seen, we've ever seen, and to think that he couldn't go to New England. He was with Mike McCarthy, who took the ball out of his hands. Shannon, how many games did you watch where they're running, you're saying, you got the best quarterback in the league.
I must have missed those
I
games.
missed those. You didn't miss those games. You weren't watching closely. But to say that he couldn't win with Bill Belichick and those defenses that helped Tom Brady didn't score, let teams score in the second half or the fourth quarter, all those games, you don't think? Aaron Rodgers played 3 playoff games where his team gave up 45 points or more in the postseason. How you supposed to win? And you call me, you say that's toughness, and he wouldn't be able to win with Bill Belichick? That's nonsense. It's total bogus. It's totally bogus. Aaron Rodgers would have won even more Super Bowls with Bill Belichick than Tom Brady lucked himself into.
That is just laughable.
I disagree with Woody. And I think here's the reasons why. I think what helped Tom Brady is that Tom Brady, his first coach was Coach Belichick. It's a lot easier. I can relate to this. My first NFL head coach was old school, Skip. You know him, Dan Reeves.
Real well.
Anybody that coached me after Dan Reeves, after the long 3-hour practices that we had shoulder pads on Friday. So anybody that came after him was going to be icing, was going to be a piece of cake. Tom Brady could not have an ego. He was a 6th-round draft pick. 6th-round draft picks with the ego get shown the door. First-round draft picks know they're going to be there for a period of time. So this is why I disagree with Woody. Had Bill Belichick got Aaron Rodgers, and that was his first coach. Now, granted, maybe it would be a little more difficult now because Aaron is setting his ways, Coach Belichick setting his ways. But you get to mold someone when you get them first. That's why I say you never let a player set bad habits. Because if you let him set bad habits, as a youngster, he gets good, ain't no turning back. Remember I told you about Odell, Skip? You can't let him have bad habits. You let him have bad habits, okay, you're going to catch hell when he get older and gets better.
Yeah.
Skip, look, we've seen Tom Brady do some of the same things that Aaron Rodgers does. Show a player up, get into a scream. Now, I've never seen Aaron Rodgers get into a screaming match with his head coach. We've seen Tom Brady do it with 2 different offensive coordinator.
Not head coach.
Not head coach.
Josh McDaniels.
You know he can't get into it with Coach Belichick. Hoodie, right?
He's got the authority to
No,
do it.
he
He's
does
got
not.
the weight. He's got the cachet.
So what about mental toughness when a coach wants to do what he thinks is the best interest of the team, but you don't agree with it, so you'll go above his head? So where's the mental toughness? Aren't you mentally tough enough to say, you know what? I'm more than Bill Belichick. I'm more than the New England Patriots. I'll take my show on the road.
No, he is the New England Patriots, and he knows it. And he finally said, okay, that's enough.
I thought
That's
he
the
mentally
first
tough.
time in 18 years he put his foot down and said, no, I'm not going to let him get away with this.
There's a lot of guys up in Sing Sing. There's a lot of guys in Rikers up there for the first time thing.
And guess what he did? Did he not stick it to Bill Belichick? He went on to win the NFL MVP after the trade deadline last year. He threw for the all-time playoff record 505 in the Super Bowl. That's outrageously great.
Guess what Peyton Manning did? Didn't he stick it to Jim Irsay? He went and won an MVP. Okay. He went and won the Super Bowl. But you move on. You make decisions, not based on what the guy's done, on what you think he will do.
Yeah.
Coach Belichick has Skip, His job, his loyalty is not just to Tom Brady.
Bill Belichick is a product of Tom Brady, and Bob Kraft knows that, and you know that.
But Tom Brady wouldn't be the first quarterback not to finish his career. All these great, this is the league, Skip. Everybody. Joe Montana, 4-0 in Super Bowls. They showed him the door. 11 touchdowns, no picks. They said, thank you very much. We got a young guy here. Steve Young's going to be the quarterback. They moved on. It's been done to everybody.
Okay, but Joe Montana was starting to show some signs of erosion of skills. But he did go to Kansas City. He was very good.
He went to the AFC Championship
He wasn't great,
in
but he was
Kansas
very
City.
good. Tom Brady came back and won the MVP of the league.
Well, that was by default last week.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. Skip.
It was, Skip.
Carson Wentz was going to win the MVP.
Wentz was going to win the MVP.
He was extraordinary, and then his coach sabotaged him in the Super Bowl by not playing Malcolm Butler. Am I right?
No.
You thought it was ridiculous. Yeah,
and
it was.
Skip, you say last year Carson Wentz had more touchdowns and less interceptions in two and a half fewer games.
And what did you see from Carson Wentz? He got exposed this year.
Skip, the man was
just
hurt.
Not that good.
He's hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt.
Yeah, he is hurt.
Quote unquote. Yeah.
You know what? You
know what? Bottom line, Aaron Rodgers.
How did Tom Brady look to Skip?
Time out. Aaron Rodgers, blame deflecting finger pointer, and we've heard it from everybody, including our very own Greg Jennings, who caught a Super Bowl touchdown pass from Aaron Rodgers. That's who he is. He's got diva in him, and diva does not work with Bill Belichick.
I think Bill Belichick would look at his skill and say, this dude is off the chart. I can win with him, and he would work with
Bill Belichick wins with cogs in the system. That's what he does.
Do you remember what Tom Brady looked like the year after he had ACL surgery, Skip? Remember, Joe Flacco, a rookie, and Ray Rice ran him off the playoff field.
I told you that yesterday.
I
brought it up.
Well, then when you talk about Carson Wentz and how he looked.
Okay, but you're saying that Tom Brady is losing it now. Why didn't you say he was losing it then?
I didn't say that, Skip. He won 41, Skip. That was 7 years ago.
Hey, but before we go, I got something for you guys.
What you got?
You saw what I walked in with today, right? I had on the Jordan
You got the Concord.
Okay.
Yes.
Did somebody give those to you?
Yes.
What
Here you
is
go.
going on?
You got a pair?
What?
Yes. Skip, you got a pair of the Concords?
This isn't from you. This
No,
is from Nike.
It's from my buddy Roland,
Hey.
a friend of mine, Roland from Palmdale. He's a big fan of the show, and he
Christmas
wanted
Eve
to make
early
sure
for
that
you
you guys got these for the holidays.
Does he work for Nike?
No.
Oh,
He just bought them.
Oh,
Why
just
Jenny
bought
didn't get a pair? Oh, Hood Jenny. Yo, you
I
know
know.
Hood Jenny.
This is what he gave me. I'm sorry,
Thank you,
Jenny.
Roland.
I mean,
Roland.
okay.
He loves the show. Roland from Palmdale.
Roland.
Yeah.
Can I borrow yours?
Well, we go.
See, Jenny, you can wear those.
Yeah, we gonna get Jenny a pair.
All right.
All right, I'm not feeling left out at all. But Rob, thanks for
Jenny,
coming, and
get your pair.
we'll
Did you
see
get
if
your
I
pair?
invite you back.
Oh, Hood Jenny.
We'll see. Was Michael Jordan out of line for
Merry
slapping
Christmas.
one of his players? You got to see what happened. We'll tell you next.
No mercy.
Michael Jordan made headlines Wednesday when he slapped Malik Monk in the back of the head twice after Monk ran on the court to celebrate a last-second shot. But there was still time left on the clock. The Hornets won the game, but it raised the question if Jordan was really mad. Jordan told the AP yesterday, quote, "It was like a big brother, little brother tap. No negative intent, only love." Take a listen to what Monk had to say about the incident.
This is Mike, so yeah, I'm whatever he do is gonna make it. Cause nowadays it's all social media. Everybody got their phones out, stuff like that. So I wasn't surprised.
Was that kind of what it was? I mean, just kind of a big brother, little brother thing is what he said.
What big brothers? But yeah, it's about the same thing. Yeah, it wasn't like I said. It's nothing. He was just playing with me.
All right, Shannon, do you have a problem with the smack?
I don't really have a problem with his kid, but you heard what he said. That's Mike. He's not an owner. No matter what he is, he's still, Skip, a godly figure in NBA circles. Now, granted, no other owner could have ever done that to any player. No other owner in NBA history could have done that to a player. Michael could do that. Now, Michael wouldn't have done, obviously, he wouldn't have done that to a LeBron or KD. But if you think about it, Skip, when he did it, Malik Monk didn't even turn around the first time because he knew who had done it. Now, the normal rule is somebody smack you, man, who the F did? Man, what the? That's the expression. That's what happened. But he knew who done it. And like he said, oh, that's Mike. You know, he's still a godly. He's still revered. Skip, he's still, and in that circle, he's still revered. He's still almost, like I said, when I met him for the very first time, and every time I see him, he doesn't seem real. It's like he's levitating. And yeah, it's like Malik said, he a big brother.
Yep.
So I don't understand the overreaction on the internet to this. Do some people consider this some form of child abuse?
No,
or
Skip,
I don't know.
Because let me tell you why. Because Malik Monk is still a grown man. And normally we don't see grown men hitting other grown men inside the head unless you about to square up. And so that's not, Malik Monk is not Jordan's child. So you can, and I'm just telling you how, I don't know how everybody, but I'm saying in our community, the way we look at that, like, hold on, wait a minute, bro, you think you are?
Well, he's simply the greatest player in the history of all of sports. That's who he is. And he is the owner, and he is the operator of the franchise. And it was slightly odd to me that he wound up sitting kind of on the end of the bench because his seat is down more toward the end zone.
Yes.
But again, as the game wound down and it got closer and closer, Michael did creep closer to the bench. And yet, I know him well enough to know that was nothing but playful. That was nothing but good-natured. He was mildly chastising Malik by saying, you got to be smarter than that.
Yeah.
You can't run out on the court because he took off running while the ball was in the air. And there's too much time left on the clock, and they were lucky they weren't penalized more because then that was followed by a couple of other players running onto the floor. And they could have been given 3 technicals, and they only got 1, so they did win the game. So there was nothing, it didn't cost them the game. It was just Michael saying, you got to be a little smarter than that.
But Michael missed the guy that was in the uniform. He had some jacket on with that mid-court and turned around and ran off. He just caught Malik.
That's all he saw. but his little swipe, I don't think he caught more than just the back of his hair, right?
Yep.
Okay, he didn't like bash him in the back of the head, right?
No.
Okay.
I mean, he ain't get him flushed. I mean, like, what you doing? The game's still going on. You like to, don't do that. I mean, I get it, but I can understand how the internet was going to react because, like I said, but he's Michael Jordan, Skip. He, in a situation like this, he's going to be viewed differently. Like I said, can you imagine Steve Ballmer hitting a player, or Mark Cuban hitting?
But they didn't play.
No.
And again, he's the only black owner in the right. Am I forgetting anybody?
He
No.
might be the only black majority owner of all the sports.
In all of sports, and yet he was simply the greatest player ever, and that's the way he's always operated. That's what he would do to his Bulls teammates if he didn't like something. He'd swat them upside the back of the head.
He'd do that to his current friends now when he walked into the Ruby.
Hey, wake up. You know, like, you're better than that. Come on.
Yeah.
Wise up. You know, that's what he's saying. He's trying to teach Malik a little lesson. But, of course, then he's got to make a statement. Malik's going to get asked about it. And I'm with you. I loved his conclusion. Big brother, little... No, big brother, right?
Yeah.
That is what he is and what he will always be. And I'm going to defend him probably to the death.
Me too. I'm going to defend him too. Now send me a pair of shoes, Mike.
Yeah. Really?
That's how it works?
He still owe me a pair.
Yeah, you are out of his Christmas party, any party that he ever throws. You are off the list.
We need to go to the All-Star game.
Yeah.
All-Star game is going to be in Charlotte. We need to go down there for that.
You have had the audacity
That'd be fun.
to say on live national TV that LeBron James is better than Michael Jeffrey Jordan. You've said that repeatedly.
This is what I'd be willing to do. For 10 pair of exclusive Air Jordans.
You would sell your soul
I
for
might
that?
be willing to rescind some of the remarks I've made.
Really?
Maybe.
For 10?
For 10 pairs.
I don't think you need any more.
LeBron, you can give me 15 and I'll be back on your bandwagon.
Remarks you make about the faux goat.
Don't do that, Skip.
Faux goat. He's the faux goat, LeBron.
Well, Shannon, I'm sorry to end on this note, but Baker Mayfield, he's heading to Denver, and I don't know, are you worried about it?
No. They're going to take that L.
Predictions next.
No mercy.
Time for a final topic of the day. The Browns and Broncos will try to keep their playoff hopes alive tomorrow in Denver. Both teams have won 3 of their last 4. Baker Mayfield has 9 TD passes and just 3 interceptions in that span. Shannon, who wins tomorrow?
Broncos. I just opened up my new restaurant in Denver.
Did you?
Close to the stadium, yep.
Really?
Baker will be able to get as many hot L's as he wants.
Really?
That pass rush, Chubb on one side, astronaut. You know, Skip, you need 3 sacks to break the rookie record, NFL record of Javon Curse got 14 and a half. Vaughn sacking 8 straight games, 13 and a half. That pressure going to be relentless. Go get him. Sack him by 5 times, force him
Really?
into 2 picks. Broncos win.
Which is why your Chargers are going to lose at the Broncos in the last regular season game, right? Well,
No.
you made a great
No,
case,
that
right?
got, Skip, hold on. First of all, Cleveland and San Diego. Do you remember what San Diego did to Cleveland? Blew the doors off them.
I didn't know San Diego had a team
I mean, the
anymore.
Chargers. The Chargers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the Chargers.
That's gotta be
Oh,
stopped
that team. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you've noticed, but since Hugh Jackson got fired and Todd Haley got fired, Baker Mayfield has been on fire under the tutelage of Freddie Kitchens, former Alabama quarterback, and he's calling those plays,
Yeah,
right?
he's doing a good job, too.
Yeah, he's doing a good
noticed.
job. Have you noticed that? And
Yeah.
he's 6th over that span in QBR, and I think he just might go into Denver and pull off a narrow upset because he is
You want some do?
flinging it.
Give me
Nope,
some do?
no do.
Do.
No do. I don't have a great
Do.
conviction. I just
Do.
have a feeling.
No do.
Do.
I'll do a do on, I'll take Dallas +3.
No, you ain't taking Dallas.
No mercy.
Thank you for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Keep an eye out for the weekend edition of the podcast tomorrow morning, featuring this week's best segments. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Fox Sports. One of one.